Hello, fellow homebrewers. JP here, and I want to introduce to you the brand new Brew-Built X1 Conical Series available at More Beer. More Beer sells the highest standard in homebrewing equipment, and the Brew-Built Conicals are just that. They're made from mirror-polished 304 stainless steel, and they come with loads of features that you and I have been looking for. They have a full 2-inch bottom dump valve, which will eliminate your clogging issues, while the sturdy base includes 4 reinforced legs, just like those big pro tanks do. More Beer also carries the Brew-Built line of options and add-ons like casters, pressure kits, and even external glycol chillers. So you can find out more about the new Brew-Built X1 Conical Unitanks by going over to morebeer.com for detailed videos on the entire line of Brew-Built Conicals. You can trust Brew-Built with your next fermentation, and you can trust More Beer to find the right conical for you. Brew-Built at morebeer.com.
Today's Sunday session is brought to you thanks to the fine folks at More Beer. Visit them right now at morebeer.com.
Feels like work. Shooting the shit for 2 hours, drinking beer and talking beer. What a wonderful experience.
Can we not have the barf bucket near my mixing board?
I think everybody could read the book.
I knew you were going to use this book as an excuse to quit doing this show.
Mrs. Bub, if you want, I can mail you the Bub Timer.
Yeah, Newcastle, especially in the can. Have you ever had it in the can?
No, I have not had it in the can.
Notice I closed my eyes and I concentrated really hard.
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
Hey, everybody, it's The Session. That's what you're listening to. That's what you clicked on the old podcast player. And if you're tuning in live, no more surf music for you. You get to talk beer for 3 hours with us.
It's too late now. You can't change it.
You can't change it.
Can't stop it.
There's no going back. Can't stop, won't stop, as a matter of fact. Is what the kids say these days.
Oh, is that what they're saying?
Still.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I think it's, hey, old man, stop it, is what they're saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, Uncle Jim. Stop it.
Well, you're not cool. Stop trying to be cool. Like I feel that way. Like I'm riding around in my car listening to trap beats. I'm like big on Young Dolph. Who cares? I don't know. Little Uzi Vert. I don't care. Doesn't matter.
Are those beats? What are those?
Well, they're people.
Oh.
Who say things over beats. I don't actually know who makes the beats.
So rappers?
Yeah, do you hear
that?
Yeah. Tasty, you're that's you, buddy. Tasty got the blues playing. Yeah, Tasty's so sad his phone is crying for him.
Is that little Wheezy?
He's got the blues. Mama Wheezy.
Speaking over some fat beats?
I don't know. That's all right.
Phone. Technology, man, it sucks. Yeah.
Was it playing the whole... Because you were here for a little bit before. Was it playing in the bar beforehand?
Yeah, I was playing in my car. When I turned off the car, it's supposed to shut off. It didn't.
Yeah. Huh.
Stupid.
Yeah, that's all right. Now we know what you jam to, man.
I listened to the blues, yeah.
Yeah. I got the blues so bad.
Very much.
Anyway, so I'm cruising around and got fat beats pumping in my trunk. And every time I pull up next to anybody... outside of my age range in the lower quadrants. Okay. I turn it down because I feel like I'm trying to be the cool old man now.
Oh, and they're judging you so hard.
I think that they are, yeah. I'm like, oh, shit.
Wait, you don't want them to know that you're that cool?
Well, okay. So I want them to know that I'm cool because I'm playing it. So I leave it up just so they can hear the song. But I don't want to be like, oh, here's fucking Grandpa beatbox over here. How's fucking cool in the gang, Grandpa? Like trying too hard to be cool.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right, you don't want them to think that you're having to listen so loud because your hearing aid battery died.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Look, and I got a car that happened to come with a subwoofer. I didn't put it in.
Oh.
It just happened to be, it wasn't an upgrade package. It just is delivered the way that it is delivered.
Definitely.
Actually, it is an upgrade package, but I didn't choose it.
No.
Okay.
Of course.
It wasn't like you're really having a midlife crisis.
So you
right,
have the
it's not a
rattling
convertible,
lights.
for God's sakes. Yeah, right. It's just a sunroof. It's fine.
Oh,
It's a glorified minivan.
That's true.
It's a fancy Honda.
It's a fancy Honda. It is
fancy
a
Honda.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And so now the license plate rattles. Did you put some anti-seize or some Loctite on the bolts so that way your license plate doesn't rattle off?
No. I don't have my license plates yet. I had to call the DMV. I had to call the DMV today, and so I was on like going through their phone tree, and they're like, "You can either hold for 57 minutes, or we'll call you back."
At least it's not any faster than being there in person. I feel like that would be cheating.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, well, let's try this callback thing, and they called back like within the hour, and
57 minutes.
Yeah, the lady was very pleasant, and she was like, and so she was like, you got to call the dealer because they haven't finished the transition yet. They filed the payment, but they didn't actually send in any of the paperwork. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
So now I have to like wait there, but it's like 60 days, and they're like, usually your plates and your reg should be there within like 45 days. And
right. So now do you have to go to the DMV to get an extension on your temporary?
Not yet, because I still have the temporary is good for like another 3 weeks or something like that.
You should go over the bridge as many times as you can.
Yeah, go for free.
I'll be the guy that like the cop decides to finally go chase. Like, oh, great, here we go. This is me.
Because you'll be blasting those sick beats,
dude. You got to represent. If you come into my trap unannounced, you're going to get blasted, right?
That's normal.
What? You okay, babe?
Oh no, I just forgot to tell you something. I'll tell you later.
Oh.
Sorry, that was terrible radio, but it's a total tangent story, so I'll tell you later.
It's going to be a great show tonight.
Find out what Bev wants to say after the break. No, I'm just kidding. We have a rad show for you. We have Insight Brewing Company from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we're going to speak to Ilan, who is the brewer and the president, and he does a whole bunch of other stuff there. We're going to talk to him about it. But, Warren, I'm checking out these beer names, and I'm pretty positive these guys are role players. Like Dungeons and Dragons, like tabletop role-playing. Maybe they're LARPers. I don't know.
So we'll get to talk some shop?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I really want just to see how many 20-sided he has. If he uses 100-sided, I've never been able to use it yet in combat, so I don't know if you can actually use it or not.
What his thoughts are on 5th edition?
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
When we're going to go remote at some point.
Literally, shut up.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, is that what you wanted to say earlier?
Some cold water on that.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, Bev's a real. She'll get after you today. So watch. Yeah, she has a lot of things going on right now. I don't know what it is, but she's been feisty all friggin' day.
All right.
Bring Bruce best.
Got her panties in a bunch.
Yeah. Get those big old grandma panties in a bunch.
Rude.
Big old
I don't know. Whatever.
Don't laugh, Tasty. Come on.
Sorry, I have good visual skills. How do you keep those up?
I don't know.
I'm still thinking.
Wait.
That's why she's so angry.
Roll.
And we're done.
Yeah.
That's why she's so angry. I got these big panties and I can't keep them up.
They won't stay on.
You guys,
God.
stop.
Why? I'm not talking about you necessarily, just people. Well, I did say you.
We're talking about gravity.
Yeah, no, you did.
People like Beverly. How do they keep their grandma? Whatever.
We should ask somebody.
Yeah, I mean, check this out. Like in the halls of the sunken city. Now, if that's not a fucking D&D reference, I don't know what it is. An obstruction on the trollway, the garden of the hell chicken. I mean, come on.
Hell chicken.
Yeah, taming the devil's companion. I feel like that's
not the devil himself, just the companion.
Just the companion, right?
Well, you got to start somewhere.
Well, if they're devil or devil-related creatures, I can talk to them.
Oh well, only if your character class is right.
That's true. Anyway, if they don't have a beer called Chaotic Neutral, I don't know what the fuck to do now. Anyway, Ilan's going to talk to us, and we're going to have some good time. We're going to drink some beers. They have a couple IPAs. Apparently, they do some East versus West kind of thing where they brew an East Coast IPA and a West Coast IPA, like one of the cloudy things. And then see whatever anybody... Anyway, so they sent us one of each, so we're going to try another...
Cool.
New England style IPA.
Another cloudy beer.
Yet another cloudy beer. But
we're
first,
open-minded.
Right. Thanks to More Beer, our fine show sponsor, brings you this and every session. Go to morebeer.com and get absolutely everything you need to make great beer at home. They got everything. They got it all. That's where I shop exclusively. So if you're in the Concord area, you might see me, get my own grain. I don't know.
Right. And if you're lucky, he won't be there.
If you're, hey, that's not.
I meant that backwards.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not above working. Okay. I'm not above getting my own grain.
Okay.
Oh, I am.
Oh, you are?
When I'm there, the whole staff has to work for me.
You just stand to the cash register?
All two of them? And the other guy looking for stuff, going in the back.
Do they do it because they know you, or do they do it because they don't want to tell you?
No, I don't anymore. I used to be at that.
Okay, yeah.
They'd offer.
Because I would go like, hey, can you get this? And then they would, in my mind, or at least when I was running the counter way back when, they go, you have this and this, and I need this grain and this grain. Sure. And then I would go, sure, I'll show you exactly how to do it. And you kind of like teach them how to do it.
Yes.
But, it's pretty good if you can get them to do work for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I do it myself.
I like that. If you want to support us, you go to our website link, or not our website link, but our webpage, the brewingnetwork.com, minus the and click the Amazon link. You can do all your Amazon shopping there. If you want to get a cool green suit for St. Patrick's Day, you can do that through our Amazon link, and it supports us. We get a little kickback from Amazon there. It doesn't cost you anything, of course. That's it. Also, pay attention to the show tonight, to all of our live reads and all of our sponsors, because they are the ones who actually bring you these shows, so you guys don't have to pay per episode, and, of course, all of our live donors, but we'll talk about you guys later. Shop at these establishments, man. They have a lot of good stuff. They have a lot of good equipment, ingredients, knowledge, services, rendering for you, and then it keeps us on the air, and it's a win-win. So without you guys, they won't keep us on the air. You know what
I just bought a really expensive camera through the Amazon link.
Oh, really?
On the BN page. I'm kind of curious to see how much
you
gets kicked back to the BN for that.
We should have a thing where, like, if we buy something for ourselves, which of course we shouldn't, hypothetically, right? Because I work for the BN, so I can't do it. But if I were to do it, I should get a cut of that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, since I don't, you should get the cut.
Right. Yeah.
And then give it to me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that's not. Then I'd pay the taxes on it.
Oh,
that's fucked up. Maybe I'll buy you, like, a beer with it.
That seems fair.
Well, a tax on money is better than no money. I mean,
that's true.
That's how I look at it.
A tax on money is better than no money. That's absolutely true.
Yeah,
that's absolutely
but if you don't make any money, you don't pay any taxes.
Oh, that's the thing of beauty there. That's the thing of beauty there.
Right, yeah, think about that.
That's slick.
6 of one, half dozen of the other.
It's hard to pick.
It is hard to pick. Let's talk National Homebrewers Competition real fast. So I had my beers, right?
Yes.
I mean, we tried my beers last time.
Yeah.
The shipping deadline was March 8th. They had to arrive at their destinations by the 8th.
Okay.
So I mailed my, my entries in, and I get a lot of Dr. Homebrew entries at my house anyway. So I already had the perfect box with all of the fucking bubble wrap and all of the things, right?
As you should.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is going to be great. Throw it in there, track it online on the 8th. They said, undeliverable as addressed. Will return to you if we do not get more information. And I'm going, what the?
So on the deadline.
On the deadline, because I'm like, look, I'm like, pretty much, I've been listening to this show for 11, 12 years or whatever.
You listen to it afterwards?
By proxy, I'm here.
Okay.
And everyone's and a lot of people have said, try to space out your shipping or your brewing so you can ship and get it delivered at least on the day before the deadline. There's no point in getting there on the first day that they're due, right? Because then they're sitting wherever, and they're that less fresh, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm panicking, and so I email, I get on the website, on the AHA website, and it says, for your region, this is where your beer should be delivered, and here's the contact people on site. So I email 3 of the 4 dudes, and I'm like, you guys got to help me out. I tracked it. It just, for some reason, I used the address that was provided for me on the website, but it just whatever. And can I drive them up? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. It's in Sacramento. It's at the old Hangtown Brewery, which I'd never been to. I was like, oh, okay, I'll bring him up. The guy's like, actually, was Mike is one of the guys. He was he works at Pico Brew.
Okay.
And we met him up when we went to Seattle last year, year before, whatever.
Yeah.
So that was cool. He's like, yeah, but the brewery's only open from 4 to 9 p.m. I'm going, oh, God. To drive up to Sacramento at 4, to be there by 4 o'clock, you're leaving here by 2:30.
Right.
That's not a dream.
No.
And especially coming back.
No, not at all.
So did you have the beers returned to you?
No. So I was like, okay, look, I'll wait, and then if they don't get delivered on Friday, I'll just drive them up there on Saturday. Because the tracking said we're going to try to deliver them, but if we can't find out more information about this place, we're going to send them back to you. So I happened to track them Friday night, and they were delivered.
Oh, they were delivered.
Yeah. So I was really excited about that. But I was scared, and I didn't know what to do. Because I didn't want to drive for 4.5 hours just to drop off, round trip, right? To drop off beer and whatever. And then they were going to have me sort. I don't want to sort beer.
That was after the deadline, though, right?
Yeah, it was after the deadline. So they were really cool about it.
So you're disqualified.
So I'm disqualified. And if I win, anybody else who entered in Sacramento region in my area for my two beers, you can bitch at me.
Yeah, there's an asterisk next to your win.
Should be.
Next to your win.
Right?
No, they don't disqualify you for that.
No, but they're judging in April 7th and 8th, and I thought that's a long way away.
Yeah.
And I guess I kind of forgot that in my brewing, and I don't know. I mean, how do you plan for that? I guess you just, those IPAs, you've got
one of the challenges. That's the challenge of brewing for competition is the delay.
That was crazy.
Time you got to wait for the IPA to mature.
Right.
Really, basically, it's beers like that you want to take out of the, come to like they're out of the fermenter like 2 days before you want to mail it, so you can carb it up and send it.
Right.
That's the way to do it.
So I told them I'd plug some judging information for them because they were so nice to be willing to let me squeak in after the deadline. An act of God. It was an act of God, Tasty. Yes. I tell you what. So
they let you.
Yeah. So they sent me this. The American Homebrew Association National Homebrew Competition first round Sacramento judging sessions will be held April 7th and 8th. An evening session on Friday, April 7th, and sessions all day on Saturday the 8th. If you're a BJCP ranked judge located in Northern California, Oregon, or Nevada, Washington, please remember to sign up now at brewingcompetition.com. Almost 800 entries will be judged at the Sacramento site. God. Comp organizers and judge coordinators rely upon you to sign up early so they can get accurate head count and plan accordingly. It's the largest homebrew competition in the world, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we all know that. So anyways, if you guys want to judge, if you're in the area, if you're in NorCal, Oregon, or Nevada, go to brewingcompetition.com. Please be one of the good guys. We need you to judge these beers because judging panels, man, it's tough. My first two, I was like, I can't do this. I get so fatigued, man. But it's tough work, but we need you guys. So if you wouldn't mind, please, brewingcompetition.com. Help us out, help the NHC out, and advance my beers. That's pretty much all I'm saying. So
that's the most important thing to remember.
Right. And then it's helping everybody else out.
Right.
Help JP out first.
Yes.
Then maybe everybody else out if you have time.
Right.
Because it's hard.
Right. Make sure his score sheet gets filled out completely and thoroughly.
Yeah.
And you can just jot down little notes for everybody else.
Well, right. Why wouldn't you do that for me, Warren?
I would.
Thank you.
If I ever judged a competition.
Well, that's true. Hey, we went to your brewery the other day. We went down to Loma. That was fun.
Yeah.
You got some decent beers there.
Yeah. You tried most of them already.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you got to try the food.
Got to try the food. Yeah. But it was, and you were asking me like how did the beers taste on tap versus in the growler.
Yes.
Which was unique for me because it's unless you're going to the source like that, obviously you don't really get to try that, especially like on the show where we have a lot of guest beers. It's usually in the growler or whatever, and we have no alternative to taste it on the tap. But it is very different. I guess I forget that having relying on beers either here that come in growlers or beers at the source, like going to the Rare Barrel or whatever, where you don't really drink it out of a different vessel.
Yeah, unfortunately, each time you package a beer, you're exposing it to things that aren't going to help its flavor necessarily. So, I guess that's one thing we should keep in mind when we're tasting beer.
That's true.
But
that's true.
Yeah, you kind of have been doing it backwards. You're tasting growlers.
I have been doing it backwards.
Warm, kind of flat growlers. Now you finally got to taste it cold out of the tap.
It was good. Have you been down there yet, Tasty?
I have not. It's on my radar, though.
Yeah?
Next time I'm down that way, I'm going to go.
You get down to South Bay often?
No, I don't. That's
no. Yeah.
Right.
It's far away.
Next
it
time,
is. It's a long ways away.
More have to be like traveling to another state than I am down there.
Poor Warren has to drive it all the time.
Where I am down in. South Bay.
Speaking of NHC, registration is open right now for HomebrewCon. Go to homebrewcon.org. Tickets are on sale now. It's the 39th Annual National Homebrewers Conference, otherwise known as HomebrewCon. Join your homebrewing comrades this June 15th through 17th in Minneapolis, the City of Lakes. I did not know that.
Is that its name?
The City of Lakes. Minnesota, the City of Lakes.
Wait, Minneapolis,
the City of Lakes. Did I say Minnesota?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm stupid.
It must be the State of Lakes as well.
Well, it's, the land of 10,000 lakes.
But what county is it, and is it the County of Lakes? Because it needs to be consistency all the way through.
Minneapolis is a city. I believe it's in Hennepin County. I don't know.
Go away.
Yeah. I never lived there. How am I supposed to know?
I don't know either. 3 unforgettable days of learning, camaraderie, and delicious beer. Space is limited, of course, so be sure to register now at homebrewcon.org. Check them out. Okay, we're going to take a break here, everybody. When we come back, we're going to be speaking with Ilan from Insight Brewing, also located in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Minneapolis, the City of Lakes. It's The Session. Hang on. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Are you a member of the White Labs Customer Club? If not, you should be. It's the easiest way to earn free stuff for turning in your old homebrew labels from either Vials or Pure Pitch. All you have to do is save your labels and redeem them for things like free yeast, an exclusive White Labs t-shirt or sweatshirt, and even the opportunity to brew with the yeast man himself, Chris White. Signing up is easy. Just go to whitelabs.com/customer club, fill out the registration form, and then mail in your labels. They will return the favor by sending you awesome White Labs swag. Go sign up today at whitelabs.com/customer club. White Labs, pure yeast and fermentation since 1995.
The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
Do you like beer? They make beer.
Watch out!
Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun.
Watch out!
Do you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring
Monk's Blood.
Made with real monk.
Watch out!
So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of
Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zainashev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
Brewing great beer is a process of continuous learning, and the best books on every aspect of brewing can be found at Brewers Publications, with more than 50 awesome titles like Modern Homebrew Recipes by Gordon Strong, Designing Great Beers, the Ultimate Guide to Brewing Classic Beer Styles by Ray Daniels, American Sour Beers, Innovative Techniques for Mixed Fermentations by Michael Tonsmeyer, For the Love of Hops, The Practical Guide to Aroma, Bitterness, and the Culture of Hops by Stan Hieronymus, and Radical Brewing, Recipes, Tales, and World-Altering Meditations in a Glass by Randy Mosher, plus many, many more. These are the books and the authors with the knowledge to push your brewing farther than you thought possible. And you'll find them all at fine homebrew and book retailers everywhere. And visit the website at brewerspublications.com. Brewers Publications, all the best on beer and brewing.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
Marin Brewing Company in Northern California has been making award-winning beers for more than 25 freaking years. Today, I want to tell you about their new 12-ounce cans of Mount Tam Pale Ale. The good stuff. Mount Tam is bright gold, 5.5% ABV to keep you feeling good, and has been winning awards since 1989. If you're visiting the Bay Area, get your butt out to Marin Brewing Company. They pour tasty beers and serve great food every day until midnight. Come in for a tour, stay for the food, and pick up a 6-pack of cans of Mount Tam Pale Ale to enjoy at home, camping, biking, or whatever the hell you do. Owner Brendan Moylan has this to say about Marin Brewing beers.
It's freaking awesome.
Marin Brewing has won more than 100 gold medals in international competitions. Check out marinbrewing.com for all their award-winning beers, food, and merch. Marin Brewing Company in Larkspur, California. Award-winning taste, refreshing finish. It's freaking awesome.
This is Corey King from Insight Brewing, and you're listening to The Session on the Brewing Network.
There's murder all around you, on the streets and in the sky.
All right. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. It's The Session. And I realized I forgot to do feedback. So let's do some feedback because it's not really long.
All right.
And I think that'll be fine. Then we got to do the Twitter game
because we're doing so well.
We're speed showing. We got the I don't know, whatever. Actually, do the Twitter game first.
Oh,
Lauren.
what?
Please. The Twitter game
is
brought to us by Beer Law Center. You can go to beerlawcenter.com. John over there handles everything, and he's a good dude. He protects trademarks. So if you have a trademark you need protection from, or for, rather, or if you have one you want to file.
Protect me from my trademark.
Yeah. Or, if you're doing any brewery paperwork or whatever, anything like that, if you're opening a brewery or a winery or whatever, hit John up. John at beerlawcenter.com, and, he'll try to help you out. He's a good dude. Handsome guy, too.
Of course.
Wears glasses, so be careful about that. But anything else
Don't hit
about
him too
him,
hard.
He's fine. He's all right. Okay, what's the Twitter game?
All right. Well, since St. Patrick's Day is this coming Friday, it made me think about when one or all of us are not here living anymore.
Okay.
I'm assuming one of us will probably have a good chance of being canonized. So I'm wondering which one of us will become a saint and what will be the patron saint of.
Okay. That's pretty good.
So,
yeah.
I mean, 1 out of 5 shot, 1 out of 6 shot.
Yeah, depending. I mean, if we want to open up to Dr. Homebrew guys, that's 1 out of 8.
Yeah.
But it maybe even Palmer, right? Because he's on, so 9.
People like him.
Insanely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean,
that's good.
Yeah. Sainthood has something to do with the body of work you had while you were alive. So.
Right.
What's the body of work?
Right. Usually requires some sort of heroic virtue.
Yeah, that could be the Saint Grab, low grab.
Right. Saint of the low grab.
Yeah.
Saint Low Hug.
Yeah.
Isn't it also like if your body doesn't decompose or something like that? Bev should know. Bev would know.
You do have to perform miracles, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That's part of,
We're talking about canonization and what happens, like what makes you a saint. And I think, isn't it part of like how your body doesn't decompose properly or something like that? Like you're preserved for like 50 years
You're
or something?
bad at rotting.
I have no idea.
You're so good at doing everything else. You're terrible at decomposing.
I really don't know.
Too much alcohol.
All right. You think that's what it is?
I think I won't decompose. No,
I'll be
pickled.
No, preserved.
That'd be good. We should bury Tasty in like a 7-barrel conical.
Did you just say you'd be pickled?
No.
Yes, he did.
He did, but he meant he was already going.
I was thinking about a casket that does look like a conical.
Yeah, that wouldn't be so bad. All stainless.
Yeah. There's, you know that show, An Idiot Abroad?
Yeah.
Well, Carl Pilkington has another show out. It's on Netflix now called The Moaning of Life, where he basically does the same shtick, right?
Okay.
But and I forget where it is, but he goes to this place that makes caskets in shapes. So, like a car or a pencil for a teacher, right, or whatever. And he's like, what about, he goes, it's perfect, like, what about a Twix? And the guy's like, I don't understand. He had a packet of Twix. He's like, then when my girlfriend and I are buried together, like you save space. And he built them a fucking casket for two that's shaped like a Twix. It's amazing.
It's shaped like one Twix or a wrapper?
Like the wrapper.
Wow.
Yeah. Like the wrapper. So you slide them in, man.
Well, but are they going to have to open it for the second person?
I would imagine that's how it works. You bring them up.
He'll allow for that.
Okay.
Throw them in, yeah.
It's all doable.
All right.
That's pretty crazy, right? So it could happen, Tasty.
It's so romantic.
It is. Okay, feedback real fast. We only have 2. I don't know what's going on with the feedback.
That would be fast. This is a record fast show.
Yeah, this is from Mike in Michigan. He goes, hey, ding-dongs, not Bevo. Any word on a BNA 12 this year in Minneapolis? The city of lakes, apparently. Trying to get NHC plans in order, and I wanted to confirm if it is or isn't happening. I have not heard anything about it. Bev, I don't think, has heard anything about it. She's doing whatever she's doing. Have you heard anything about it, TC?
I have not.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything to say that it's not going to happen.
Right.
But usually it doesn't happen kind of until late. The problem is people need to make their flight reservations.
Right.
They want to know whether to come in a day ahead of time for that.
Yeah, and Mike's not the only one. Chip, our friend Chip Walton, sent me a message. He goes, hey, what's going on with that? I have no idea.
He should hook us up with a place, or he should be running from that end.
Liaisoning.
Help us out.
Yeah, Google doesn't have anything either. I Googled BNA 12.
The machine's down.
Nope.
Yeah, Mike, I don't know, man. I apologize about that. I will, I don't know, check with Jay. Jay's out sick. Apparently he was having trouble breathing or something. So
that's sick enough for me.
Yeah, so he's like, I can push through. And Bev's like, go to the doctor.
To a talk show where you can't breathe, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty important in this job.
Yeah.
Most jobs you don't need to breathe. Yeah. So I was hoping he would be here, Mike, but he's not, to answer your question.
I'll see Chip
apologize.
this weekend at this Pacific Northwest Home Brewers Conference.
Okay.
And I'll hit him up about, you help us out. Where's a good spot?
Yeah. Or you can tell him no to his face. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. This one is from Darren from Beachfire Brewing. He's a brewer. He says, greetings, brewcasters. Right now I'm freezing my ass off in my brewery cold room doing some kegging while listening to this session. Would he drag his laptop in the fucking... That's bad.
Hold his phone. Yeah, listen to my...
Would you stand in the brewery cold room typing this 18-paragraph email? I think Darren's nuts.
Well, if you're doing a procedure where you have to be in there, like CIP or something like that, or transfer,
yeah, he says doing his kegging. Yeah, okay, all right. I thought he was a liar, but apparently he's telling the truth.
It takes how long per keg? After 10 minutes or something?
Oh, no, not that long. If you're taking your sweet time and really wanting zero foam, probably 5 minutes.
Okay. So it's a 5-minute email.
He could do it, yeah. Voice text. I'm a little behind. It's January 16, 2017, Shul with Old Republic. I'm listening to feedback from Epileptic Brewer saying he cut his donations because he couldn't afford it, and now that he's quit his lab job and started working in a brewery. I opened my brewery in November and haven't been paid since we opened, but I've managed to keep my $2 monthly donation going, so fuck that guy.
Whoa.
Very noble.
He goes, okay, so $2 a month, which is $2.17 Canadian, isn't much, and I bet Tasty just said something about sponsoring if he's there and awake, and I hope to, but I'm not giving you no talent hacks more than that until I get paid first. I think that's fair.
Sense. No, we don't want the breweries that are just trying to get started and are struggling to donate.
Right.
Breweries that are successful and
share the wealth. Yeah.
Kick some back.
And have been purchased recently by large breweries. Larger
give it back
breweries.
to the college.
Acquisitions are a great time to donate.
Right. Yeah, what if we did something like that where the school boosters or whatever call all the alums? Sure. What if we just call all our guests? Be like, hey, would you like to donate to the Brewing Network? Anyway. But seriously, I wouldn't be doing as well as I am if I wasn't for the Brewing Network, which is where most of my knowledge came from. He wouldn't be doing as well as he is. He hasn't been paid since November, and he's doing well.
Well, it could be worse.
Chattering a bit.
Yeah. I promise to send some financial love your way in the future once I can afford to feed my children again.
That's all we ask.
I attached a photo of my upgraded brewing system so you can look at it closely and notice a BN Army sticker that I carefully peeled off my home brewing system to adorn my much larger and debt-inducing 12 hectoliter system.
Whoa.
How many barrels is that? How many Americans is that? American barrels.
8 barrels or something, right?
I think that might be closer to 10.
Huh. That's pretty good. I started homebrewing right about the time the BN started and have been listening from the beginning. Many thanks to all the brewcasters for the info and the entertainment over the last decade. Hey, if you're ever in Campbell River, British Columbia, Beach Fire Brewing. I'm sure it's delicious beer. Right? Aren't we sure about that?
Well, you sounded sure.
Yeah, I did sound sure. Okay, let's get Ilan on the phone here and see what we can do. Actually, first, before we connect with him, let me tell you about Great Fermentations. They're giving away free home brewing ingredients for their last 15 years of service and a Blickman Brew Easy all-grain brewing system. Just go to greatfermentations.com/giveaway and enter for your chance to win. It's a huge prize, $10,000 retail value, compliments and Great Fermentations. The grand prize will be announced on Saturday, June 17th, which I think is the awards for the American Homebrewers Competition.
Sounds
right? At HomebrewCon. I think that's what it is. Also, they're doing random giveaways every 2 weeks leading up to the close of the competition. Items include conical fermenter, temperature controllers, the new Blickman Riptide brew pump, and more. As always, you get top-notch customer service and same-day shipping on many items. GreatFermentations.com/giveaway. Sure to like them on Facebook at GR8 Fermentation. They're also on Instagram and Twitter at the same handle, GR8 Fermentation. They're giving away free homebrew ingredients for 15 years.
Wow.
How are they staying in business?
I don't know. Up again.
Yeah, right. I think that doesn't really get focused on too well. 15 years of free home brewing ingredients.
Wow.
It's friggin' crazy. Ilan, are you with us, my friend?
I am right here.
Nice. How you doing, man?
Not too bad. Pour myself a beer.
Nice. I wish I had a beer.
We will have beers.
We're going to have beers from you shortly. Thank you for being on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, happy to. I walked away from some live-action role play to make sure I could be with you guys.
So are you just making fun of me for my terrible intro, or are you LARPing? Because I was like, maybe they LARP. I have no idea.
No, we don't LARP. But you know what? If anyone does, that's totally cool.
That's the way I feel, too. Or you're kind of like, oh, man, I think I'm making fun of people. So, no, hey, if it's the way you roll, man, that's the way you roll. But
do you roll in LARPing?
No.
I'd be lying if I said I did.
I've seen there's a couple cool documentaries about LARPing. I think one's called Monster School or something like that, about these kids, I think on the East Coast, that it's like a camp and they go for, or maybe Monster Camp maybe, where it's like 3 days and they just LARP and they do this whole thing. And that's the only thing I know about it. Anyway, I apologize about that. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Ilan. You're from Insight Brewing. How's it going up there in Minnesota, man? What's new? What's shaking up there?
All right, so it's going well. We just passed 2 years of operation, so we're still a pretty young brewery.
Nice.
And actually, I remember listening to you guys back in college.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was walking to from class.
I'm sorry.
To either be the session or Jameel. Yeah, it helped pass time. It was nice.
You had something to do.
Yeah, we're not very good role models, so really.
Right.
Well, I think I learned a little bit of not taking it too seriously with you guys. That was helpful.
Good. Well, if it's one thing we don't do is take things seriously, so I'm glad if we could pass that on to you.
That's good. You're showing that it's a model that works.
Were you homebrewing at the time? I imagine you were homebrewing back then, right?
I was, yeah. So what happened is, we're talking about LARPing. I'd actually gone to orchestra camp. I actually come from a classical music background, so I've got the other dorky side of myself. But what happened with us is, back in 2007, I had traveled to Denmark and brought this list of the top 50 beers from Rate Beer, and asked for the highest rated Danish beer over there. Ended up, I walked into a great bottle shop in Copenhagen. But they didn't have the number 7, but they did have the number 1, which was, at the time, Westfalen 12. So, and at the time, it was a steal. It was $72 for a 6-pack.
$72 for wow.
Yeah.
I can't tell if that's super good or not. I mean, I don't know the exchange rate or whatever.
That's $12
Well,
for a bottle.
you know, today there's such good beer being brewed that I guess I wouldn't pay $72 for a 6-pack.
You would go back into your old college life and slap yourself.
No. Hey, no, I didn't say that. In today's world, you can get some pretty good beer not having to spend $72 a 6-pack.
Okay, there you go. Fair enough. So what did that Westy 12 teach you?
Well, it taught me that the sun could come out, birds could start chirping, and
you had an epiphany.
It told me what I wanted to do.
Really? That was your beer?
That was it. The only beforehand I had tried Blue Moon, and there was a local stout in Wisconsin that I tried that was challenging for the taste buds, but Westy was, you know, the first craft beer. So it was a pretty big step.
Wow. So you were in...
That started this idea of beer passion. I wanted to learn everything about beer.
So you were in orchestral school. Did I get that right, or am I making that
Yeah,
up?
I was. I was going to a conservatory for cello performance and education in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Oh, that'll get you laid a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine that's not cheap. I mean, how did your family react to this sudden change in your future planning?
Well, school wasn't cheap itself, so this was maybe just an extra little hobby here. But it ended up taking over. First of all, tasting that beer made me become a lifelong learner. I wanted to know the answers to things. And it actually made me better at school, made me better at studying, performing. But at the end of the day, it was what really took over was me wanting to brew beer and learn more about beer. So I did start with you guys a little bit. I started home brewing, joined the homebrew club. A lot of people do that. And my professors at the time had seen this passion I had and asked me to apply for a fellowship that's offered through IBM, and it pays for you to travel around the world studying your passion for a year after graduation.
Oh, wow.
Sounds like a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
So
you didn't go around playing the cello?
What's that?
You didn't go around playing the cello then? That wasn't your passion?
I did not. No, that's you got to pay for a second plane ticket for that instrument.
That's true. There you go.
This time, so I'd contacted breweries in multiple countries around the world, festivals, hop farms, put together this trip. I wrote all my essays, and then I lost. Someone else won, and they actually got to go study video games.
Really?
Which is, that's, don't get me wrong, that's pretty cool.
Good patient.
But I happen to think beer is a little cooler. So ended up contacting all the brewers and asked if I could come and work a little harder for a place to stay and a meal, and luckily they said yes. So ended up taking a trip with, instead of $25,000, $3,400, and called it Bike for Beer. I blogged about it, and I ended up starting to pick hops in South England, biked around the country visiting breweries and festivals.
Wow.
Worked at the Fuller's Brewery for 2 months.
Wow.
After that, I went to Kyuchi Brewery in Japan. They do the Hitachino nest beers. You might have had those.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, they do good stuff. And I've learned, in Japan, I love sake, and I never want to make it because it's a pain in the ass. After that was in Denmark. I worked at a small brewery called Fainu, far west coast island. They had contracted for multiple other breweries, including Mikkeller. I got to meet Mikkel a few times.
That's cool.
And then I got hired as a head brewer in northern Denmark, just for a short stint to train in new staff, because I'd worked on a system before, which put a new perspective on this undocumented worker thing. That was interesting.
Oh, really?
Then that paid for my plane ticket home, as well as a bike trip around Belgium and France, just visiting more breweries and wineries.
So
got back to the States and started playing.
Okay, hold on a second, because I think we could have a whole show just on what you said in that one breath there. So losing that scholarship sounds like it was a really cool thing for you. Made the most of it. You were able to kind of make a better trip out of it.
Well, that's exactly it. As I lost, and I guess I proved to myself that I actually was passionate and wanted to go out and do it.
Yeah.
And apparently I also proved to the fellowship, it's called the Watson Fellowship, I proved to them that I'm passionate and should have won, because they now use me as an example of who should win these things.
Really?
I feel like I didn't voice them for that.
how does that work? That to me that takes balls. You know?
Yeah, it does a little bit because there's only 2 rules for the fellowship. You have to be out of the country and you have to be passionate.
Okay.
So if they get to use my name, now that I realize there's some value to that. I literally last week I had realized that I should probably invoice them.
I think you should.
Yeah, send me a patient invoice.
I'm passionate about invoices.
About $1,100 a unit.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. So, okay, so then you reached out to these breweries that you were going to go to anyway, probably if you got the thing, the scholarship, but of course you ended up not doing it, but you reached out to them anyway and was like, hey, do you have work for me to do in exchange, and I can kind of, pay my own way and whatever. How was that responded, or how was that received? Did you get anybody saying like, nah, we're going to pass now?
What I learned is there's something to be said about a college kid coming and asking to work in breweries that apparently isn't that appealing to everybody. So most people didn't respond. The ones that did said no. And I think I got lucky on one of them. I got lucky with Fuller's.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They were the first brewery to say, yeah, come on board. We don't have... Apparently the person before me who was from brewing school, they actually got paid to do what I did. They didn't have any more funds for me, which kind of sucked. But either way, they said, yeah, you can come in. And so I wised up after sending, 150 emails to other breweries. I put Fuller's on them. I said, hey, I'm working with Fuller's.
Yeah.
Would you like to be another brewery that I work at? The next 3, I'm not kidding, the next 3 lined up.
So you'll probably hear the doors opening from,
you should have lied about Fuller's at the beginning.
Yeah, and Fuller's ended up being the first one, too, so people had asked questions about how my time was there. But Fuller's, that's a great brewery.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. Yeah, I've never been there, but of course, great fans of their beer. Their beer is rad. How does that set you up, especially being the first one? It's your first overseas brewing job, essentially. Coming from a home brewer, wanting to be this passionate, or you are this passionate, but wanting to kind of pursue this as your dream. How is that walking into Fuller's on day one? That's got to be mind blowing.
Well, yeah, and I'd say working in a brewery for the first time, I had taken a couple days at a local brewery before I left, which doesn't count. But if walking into Fuller's for the first time, it was too big. It was hard to understand. There's all these pipes. There's gigantic tanks filled with just hot water. It's not even beer yet. It was hard to take in, and towards the end, I kind of got it. I paid a lot more attention just to the recipes. Mm-hmm. And actually, I think it was one of you guys that had been over there, right after I was there in 2010, and got John Keeling to say exactly how London Pride is made.
Oh, I think that was Neil Spake that got the recipe for us for Can You Brew It.
For Can You Brew It, okay.
Yeah, and I remember hearing that episode, and I'm like, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
He just said exactly how that beer is made. And I thought that was pretty cool.
That's cool. Got to hear that.
Shocking, too, actually.
So moving to any other breweries after that, was it kind of because I imagine they laid you out with a lot of old school tradition and how we do our recipes and stuff, obviously with newer technology, but shifting over to some of these other breweries, was it, I don't know, I would imagine it's almost like a culture shock in brewing.
A little bit. What I took away from Japan, I'll end with England here.
Okay.
Very traditional. And I actually would say the most important thing that I learned in beer came from John Keeling. And it was, I asked him, what can you teach me about beer? And he said, keep it simple. And that's something that stuck with me and ended up going into areas outside of just recipe development. It went into designing your brewery. It sounds simple, but it not everybody puts their glycol chiller as close to the tanks as possible to minimize piping and costs.
Yeah.
So keep it simple. Don't over-engineer something, whether it's a brewing system, staff, or recipe.
Good points. And if anybody knows how to keep it simple, it'd be full.
Sorry, I'm
man.
cutting you off here.
Oh no, that's all right. We've got a little delay. I apologize. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that, but otherwise very traditional in England, which got me pretty pumped up. But everywhere else I went for the year, it was a lot more, innovative.
Okay.
Stuff that we in the States understand quite a bit more, and it was something that helped me develop who I wanted to be as a brewer, and what kind of beers I wanted to make. And what I know that when I talked to Beverly a few days ago, I had mentioned that I like living on the edge. I like to push the limits a little bit, and if you can think of something for flavor or the next thing in beer, which is kind of hard to do right now.
Yeah.
How do you do that, and what are you going to develop out of that?
Right. What are you going to do? Give us all your secrets right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, we have. I can't quite say it yet, but we do have a summer seasonal that is. I'd be surprised if any of you guys have had a beer like that before.
Oh. Well, we can get into that in a second. So, tell us about Insight then. So you're the president and co-founder. When did you guys start Insight?
So we opened up back in late 2014, and it took a couple years to really get things going and start business planning. I had met my first partner, Brian, who he had a background in brand management, and he wanted to start a brewery. So we decided to. I was teaching a beer class, and we started talking afterwards and realized that we had similar drives, but different skill sets. So we ended up partnering together and putting together a business plan. And as we were looking for investors, we had another partner, Eric, who had a background in finance. And we're like, you also want to start a brewery? You've got a skill set that sounds pretty darn useful for a business.
Yeah, for sure. So, I'd be hard-pressed to choose which would be more beneficial, the brand marketing or the finance
Can't
part
get
of
enough marketing or finance.
Right. That's amazing.
Yeah, in today's climate, you just got to be good at everything.
So they got the 80, you got the 20. Is that what's going on?
Oh. Yeah. So we ended up pulling together this idea for it, kind of loosely based off of this trip for beer, that we wanted to bring the world of beer back to our consumer, and we keep that alive in a couple different ways. We actually got a little bit lucky here. There was a marketing agency in downtown Minneapolis that chooses one company a year to work with pro bono, and they do that so that they can flex their creative muscles a little bit. Because some of their other clients are like Delta Airlines. Like you don't rebrand Delta Airlines unless they tell you to.
Right.
So they came up with this brand for us that was based off of this world adventure in beer, and they developed a brewmaster who's not me. This brewmaster is like the Stig, more exciting than I am, and that person travels around the world in search of the world's greatest beers and gets into Odyssey-esque adventures. And somehow beer was, the most important piece that was part of the story. It's kind of like a mixture of Indiana Jones and Jay Peterman from Seinfeld.
Okay. Okay.
That's our brewmaster.
That's your brewmaster. Okay, so
urban sombrero.
Is he a dragonborn or like an elfin?
What is his alignment?
Yeah.
We need to know the really important things about him.
Yeah, he drinks unicorn blood.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Says it all.
Yeah, so you are not the brewmaster.
The brewmaster is a face that you'll never see.
Right. I kind of like that. I mean, I think that everybody's brewmaster has a beard, and they all kind of end up blending together. But if you never see the thing and you just listen to the adventure, that is a different way to tell a story.
I think part of the reason we came to that conclusion also is that I can't grow a beard. So that option was off the table.
Yeah. Well, if you ever need a replacement, I'm more than willing to be called brewmaster and travel the world searching for the best beer.
On your time.
Well, you know what?
Like a great job.
We always need that person on camera, so we'll talk after the show.
There you go.
For the camera thing, I'm done.
I like that. That's a cool story, man. That's a good way. It's unique, especially in this saturated market of beer, I suppose.
It's a great, unique approach.
Yeah.
And the way that I try to keep the idea alive too, and we're trying to get more and more of this on board, is we try to keep traveling twice a year, which we've kept up so far somehow, and do collaboration beers around the world. So this year is Germany and Peru. Last year was Italy and Belgium.
Okay. So you
constantly working with breweries and learning more.
So you literally do have your kind of finger on the pulse of what's happening around the world in beer. It's not just marketing. You are actually out there doing it.
That's it. Yeah, I think that if you want to be on the edge of beer, or if you want to try to be on the edge of beer and then keep working your way that way, you got to know what's going on. And sometimes you travel to a different place in the world, and what you learn the most is something that you never expected to learn. You go there and you're walking through a market, and you smell something. Mm-hmm. You're not quite sure what it is, and it ends up being a spice or a fruit, and you realize you want to make beer out of it.
Okay. So how do you do that and try to stay simple at the same time?
Well, you can still have. I tell people you can have a balanced beer that still has a ton of flavor. Mm-hmm. So, and maybe you guys will agree, but the last beer that we were going to try, the Scotch Barrel Aged Gravity Well Imperial Stout, that's a big, bold beer, but dare I say it's balanced in terms of the flavors that you get out of it. So, it's still a recipe that's not super complicated, but the process we use on the beer is just, it takes time.
Yeah.
So still relatively simple.
Okay. Because that would be the challenge for me. It's to overcomplicate a beer, especially with a new ingredient, because I think so many things would work well. I think I did that with an IPA. I haven't brought it into to torture anybody here with, but I did like toasted ginger and real ginger and Szechuan peppercorns, and then I was like, also, tropical hops, and then also oats. But I'm going to toast the oats, and it kind of came out in this. It came out good, but it was complicated.
You were pretty.
Didn't know what it wanted to be. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just too much. So that would be my that would be hard for me to do. So I'm glad that you have a little bit of restraint in your life.
Yeah, a touch. It's hard at times, but you gotta try.
Yeah. Bev has cracked some beers for us. So if you wouldn't mind, I want to jump into one of these now.
I think the first one you're going to have is, or actually, what did she pour first?
Well, we have in front of us, we have Banshee Cutter, and then East, and then West.
Awesome.
Okay.
I'd probably start with Banshee.
Okay. Let's start with that.
So that was a beer that we started out with as a seasonal last September, and it picked up really well for us. So it's a coffee golden ale. I tell people it looks like a Pilsner and tastes kind of like a latte. We had partnered with a local coffee roaster about a half mile down the street from us called Up Coffee, and they developed a roast for us that was light enough to where it adds no color to the beer. It's an Ethiopian Hama bean, but it gives you a real in-your-face coffee on the nose, and then the just a little bit of sweetness that you get out of the malt, because we don't hop this too much, but just that little bit of sweetness gets countered by the acidity from the coffee. So it makes it come off a little bit almost creamy.
Definitely.
Wow. That's
got
delicious.
Some great coffee flavors.
It's got more coffee aroma than my coffee does in the morning.
Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have a lot of coffee.
I told people you can get caffeinated on this beer. It'll just take about 5 of them.
Even better.
Okay, send 5 then.
Yeah, 5 a day, please. It'll be my new morning ritual.
Where do you add the coffee? There's a million places you can put it into the brew. Where do you put it?
Yeah, we do all whole bean coffee right at the end of fermentation. We actually have our lab guy Ed. He had developed a proprietary process. I'm totally not telling you what we do.
So far,
to add the coffee to keep it a shelf stable beer.
What would make it
stability?
What would make it not shelf stable?
Because if you just have coffee coming out of a roaster, you have most people don't know this. Maybe you guys do, but when coffee is roasted, it gets to 400 degrees or so. Then it goes into a cooling tray right afterwards, and it'll suck air through the bottom. So it's pulling. Well, air is sucked through the bottom, so it comes in through the top. That's just natural air. There's yeast, bacteria,
ambient, whatever.
So something's going to be landing on there. It's not as much as grain, for example, which is wet first, but something gets on there, and then because coffee gets cooked, you put hot water on it. It doesn't really matter. But the coffee itself, as soon as it's cooled down, just gets put in bags. So it's no longer sanitary at that point. So
it's
if you
clean,
just put it
but
into beer, there's a high likelihood that a little bit of lactobacillus or or something else could grow in there, even if it's small.
Mm-hmm.
But it does reduce the shelf stability quite a bit.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, good. Now we're even more curious, but you still can't tell us. So.
Nope, sorry.
I'm getting really frustrated here.
You should be.
This is a great beer. I love it. And at first I thought it was a Pilsner. Does it have a lot of Pilsner malt in it, even though it's a golden ale?
This one is a lot of Pilsner malt. I'll happily tell you, it's 100% Pilsner malt.
Okay.
And what we do is, and I don't think this is a secret, but we add more yeast on this guy.
More in terms of what's your goal there?
To reduce esters and get the best attenuation possible.
Okay, so make it okay. So it's an ale, and it's fermented at ale temperatures.
Yes,
and then overpitched. Okay, cool.
Interesting.
Get the ester production down. Yeah, it definitely passes as a coffee lager.
Did you have to experiment much with this recipe, kind of putting together like with the overpitching and the proprietary coffee edition thing, or was it kind of you knew what to do right out of the jump?
Oh, obviously I knew what to do. I'm kidding.
But your brewmaster had no idea.
No, this one took a little bit of practice. We had, so all open honesty here, this is one of the first beers that we at Insight had made that I was a skeptic of.
Okay.
Someone had asked us, the guy who was designing some of our labels, he had asked us to make a coffee golden. And I'm like, well, that's a stupid idea. And just didn't want to do it. And I don't think it took more than a month or so, but got talked into it. So I'm like, all right, fine. Just for your sake, let's grab some growlers of beer and let's throw some coffee in there. See what it tastes like. And one of the beers that we happened to be working on was a golden ale at this point. So threw the coffee in, and it just tasted fantastic. So at that point, then we decided to develop a roast for it. With the local coffee roaster, and just kept going, and then it sold very well for us. So
I can tell, and it's 5.5 too. That's key for me. It's relatively reasonable alcohol.
That's the nice part.
Do you guys? You said the coffee gets added at the end of fermentation. Is it at fermentation temperature, or are you cooling it down and the beans are exposed to the beer when it's cold? Or how's that work?
We do warm. So we're doing right at the end of fermentation, pre-crash.
Okay.
And then we do it by the hour so that we know just for consistency's sake, so we know what temperature it is for how long.
Okay.
And then we crash.
And then, but the coffee is still in there when it's crashed, or do you rack it off?
It is. So we'll crash it with the coffee, which is still, at least for us, at the standard time for how long it crashes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll transfer. And then we had developed another proprietary process for getting the coffee out. It's called a bin with holes in it.
Okay.
So that's why we also use whole bean. I don't even know what we'd do if we had ground coffee in there. That would be a pain.
It's something you picked up in Norway. It's called a whole bin. Yeah, bin with holes.
So the beans are loose. You don't use a hop sack.
No, we actually tried the first time.
That's what I would have done.
The first time to use a hop sack.
How did that work? It doesn't sound like you're laughing. It didn't work.
It sounded like it worked great.
It didn't work. No, it was too heavy. The whole thing just ripped and fell, and we were like, fuck it. All right,
it became a loose thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's not consistent at all.
No, not even close. But we at that point we said, all right, well, this was like the strongest hop sack we could think of, and well, that's not going to work. So what are we going to do? So that's when we started focusing on how do we make sure that we've got a shelf-stable product going in and making sure that it works out.
It's
not that it wasn't. We probably could have thought of that before too, but ended up getting there.
It's a great beer. It reminds me of that regular coffee from Carton Brewing. I think they're in Jersey, the Dirty Jers. It reminds me of that, where it's mellow on the malt, but it's still there, and it has that creamy mouthfeel, and there's coffee, and that coffee flavor is delivered really, really well. And it's still a beer at the end of the day. It's not coffee first and then a beer. If you add stuff to coffee, you've been saying forever, or add stuff to beer, it's a beer first. And then the ingredient should be second over the beer, and that's exactly what this is. It's really good.
And it still gives you plenty of coffee character. A lot of the coffee beers I drink, they don't have enough coffee character, and this is plenty. Because the lighter golden ale behind it lets it shine through.
Right. It's not muddied with other roasted
other roasted and dark malts
roasted grains. Yeah,
it's a good beer.
Yeah, I've kind of gotten to the point where this is a go-to beer for me now.
Yeah,
because it's so light, you can drink plenty of it. And actually, any brewery now that wants to sell their product for more than 3 months at a time or get on a menu at a chain restaurant like Buffalo Wild Wings, let's say, you have to have nutritional analysis done in your beer. So we had tested all of our year-round beers with White Labs just to get stuff like calories or total fat, which there's none in no beers have fat in them.
Right.
But nice thing about Banshee Cutter, it's our lowest calorie beer.
Oh, even better.
Is it a year-round beer?
Just became a year-round 13 days ago.
Oh, nice.
How long had you been selling it seasonally?
We did it September and October. So we did a quick turnaround to make it into a year-round.
That's got to feel good, right? I mean, especially for the guy who had the idea. But, I don't know. Just that to me, that would...
have you guys?
What's that? Yeah. You there?
Uh-oh.
Do we not have you?
Now he got real quiet.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear us?
I am having some weird issues with the computer. It suddenly decided not to find things.
I think I lost him.
Uh-oh. We didn't start talking shit about us right now. These guys are dicks.
I really hope this interview ends soon.
Yeah, it's true. I hate these guys.
Yeah, I need to go to bed.
Yeah. Let me...
I got my own proprietary shit. I'm not talking.
They think they bought all that crap. It's probably like some other dude. He doesn't even work for the brewery. It's just like...
have you guys?
Yeah. You there?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Hold on. Okay, cool.
I think we got wiretapped there.
Yeah, I don't know what... Yeah, well, there's no microphones there's no microwaves in the studio, so we can't be tapped. That's fine.
Well, do you guys really mean that when you say it, though?
Of course.
You don't know what we mean.
Right. We're just flying by the seat of our pants, dude. You keep it simple. We keep it very complicated.
As complicated as possible.
Yeah. Man. Good coffee. And you know what? Good coffee.
Does the Golden Ale you have that on the menu as well, just without the coffee?
Yeah. Actually, no.
I see.
This took over.
Sure.
Just as is.
Cool.
Because I was going to say there is a crisp hop character to it at the end.
No, it's got everything you want to go
coffee. It just rides that line. It's very good.
There's a good beer back there, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah, we are working right now, and it actually might be this one, but this year we're focusing on pushing some limits, and next year we're bringing out a light beer. So that's probably going to be the Golden, the Lager. That's what we're working on now.
Okay. All right. That sounds interesting, man. Are you guys distributing out here in California? Because I would like this.
Awesome. And we are not. No, we are Minnesota right now, and a very, very small portion of South Dakota. So we're pretty darn limited. So you wasted your time by putting me on the show.
No,
we'll be there in June.
We'll be there in June, yeah. For
that's true. That's
Con,
true.
yeah.
I love to host you guys and have a few beers.
Yeah, I will drink the hell out of it.
We're going to be pouring at the Brewers night at the event?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we are.
Great.
I think we did sign up for that. I'm pretty confident.
All right.
Okay. Well, if you haven't, do it, because that'll be rad.
Yeah, for sure.
I would drink this every morning I was there at NHC.
Yeah.
Nice.
Breakfast.
Well, I'll see if we can help out with that.
So what's your brew house footprint? What are you brewing on? How big's your... What are you doing?
We started with the 30-barrel system.
Oh, wow.
That is... it's from Specific Mechanical. They're out in Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
So we started with them. We were contemplating 15 or 30, and we found a building that was 20,000 square feet. So we ended up matching the system to the building. 30 barrels
for the maximum
for
potential.
that building.
Well, that finance guy did well.
Yeah,
because that's a lot to start out with. I want to tell you.
Yeah, it was. We were definitely the mile wide, inch deep type of startup.
Yeah. Now you're glad you did, right?
We didn't have one big investor. We actually talked with a lot of... We could have, but then we also would have given away 70% of the company.
Yeah.
So we ended up going with just friends and family as investors, just a lot more of them, so we could get an SBA loan. And then after that, we got the building owner on board to put in a good chunk of renovation costs for us.
Oh, nice.
So we had a few different ways that we found money in the beginning. We get the joy of paying that back now. So there's that. If we buy the building, we get to pay it again.
Right.
But either way,
you won't hit your landlord.
Start up.
Yeah.
So the beers we're drinking came out of 16-ounce cans. You have a canning line?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, we started just kegs only for the first year,
wow.
late 2014 and then most of 2015. And then we launched 16-ounce cans late 2015. So our first full year of that was in 2016.
Okay. And so what was your first year's production being a draft-only brewery?
2,500 barrels.
That's still a lot of beer just to push out draft with no
brand
in any bottle shop.
We realized that we had a big building and we had to somehow pay for it.
Well, you got to do that.
And you didn't have a tap room to pour your own beers, or?
We did. We did start with the tap room from day one.
All right, so that's most of
that helps quite a bit.
Oh, a lot.
There's a good chunk of beer that goes out of there.
Yeah, 2,500 barrels isn't enough for one guy to break.
That's not enough to pay for that system in that building in just distribution.
Right.
Not unless we're selling a lot higher price.
Well, then it's hard to break into a market at twice everybody else's price.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
we did that first year, and last year we did just under 6,000.
That's not bad.
Nice. That's gives them some good growth.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So we have two more beers open, and I'd like to do these, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll come back and do the barrel-aged beer, and then kick you off. What do you think?
All right. I appreciate that.
You're a man, anytime. So East versus West. Tell us about this little matchup here.
So we did, this is our current seasonal, just got that out pretty much right at the same time as Banshee Cutter became a year-round. And this is one seasonal. So we have PAX Tech parties. We get employees together and we PAX Tech these beers because we do them in variety 4-packs, 2 of each beer.
Okay.
And we try to get the cans to face each other too. But we wanted to do in Minnesota what is kind of happening around the country. There's the New England style IPA that is becoming quite popular.
Yeah.
But it's really not here in Minnesota. And there's a couple breweries that have done it on a really small scale, us being one of them too. But we had this feeling that this style of beer was really going to take over. So we wanted to go and find out, what does Minnesota want? So we had this competition, which is a seasonal for us, East versus West. So we made a West Coast red IPA, and it was the hoppiest beer we've made, at least in terms of amount of hops put in, and technically by IBUs as well. And then we made our version of a New England IPA to get that kind of haze, tropical juice fruit on the nose.
Yeah.
A lot less bitterness than the West, and kind of find out who's going to win. You know, what styles do people actually want in Minnesota for us? So we've got voting cards at bars and restaurants. We've got people voting online for which beer they like the most. So it's been pretty fun for us.
What's the verdict so far?
I don't know. Taste it. You tell me.
I want to know what other people
taste like.
like.
No, you got to vote for it.
They got to vote first?
Yeah. So where's the haze in this beer? This beer's as clear as...
It's pretty clear, man. Yeah, you didn't...
Were you shaking the can?
You didn't get super hazy. That was Bev, so I don't know. She probably messed up.
Well, no.
Which one was clear?
They both are.
I mean, the East is it's not as
it's got a little bit of
but in New England IPAs,
nothing
you know what?
Settles
that
out. Might have been one of the batches.
You shouldn't have to shake the can.
I think someone accidentally crashed the tank too cold.
Oh,
or what I should say is to proper temperature, so it works too well.
Yeah, because I mean, out here we have we have hazy IPAs, but they're not quite New England style IPAs. So this would be the hazy of that. But we had a guest in last week from Fresno, of all places, who's doing a super hazy orange juice looking beer that's a New England style, and so this definitely doesn't hit that, but it sounds like there was just a mistake. It definitely tastes soft and round and those tropical juicy things. So
it's got a less of a hop edge.
Yeah, so you're right on there on a lot of points, man.
Did you lose calcium chloride to the water? Did you soften the water up a little bit?
We did actually.
Uh huh.
Okay, we did. And actually, we've got 2 more versions of this coming out later this year. We're doing another New England Pale and another New England IPA. So we started out with something that can introduce the style, and what we're working for the next two is going to be more of a juice bomb.
Oh. Okay, that makes sense.
I'm sure that's a beer name.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Been done. Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's been done 8 times in 12 different tap rooms. You know what I mean?
It's already litigation all over.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, that makes sense to step people up on the on this kind of style of beer, especially if it's not catching on so well in Minnesota. Are you hoping that it catches on, or do you guys just like drinking the style?
I am.
Okay.
I think it's a style of beer that honestly, it's almost like the perfect IPA. It requires less process in terms of the brewer.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the people drinking it, the most divisive part about a bitter IPA is that it's too bitter. People don't like that bitterness, and they call it hoppiness.
They should order.
They don't realize they actually do like hops.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's something we get shit for it, specifically Warren and I, because and I said on the show, if you want to order a New England style IPA, you don't like IPAs, you want a pale ale.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because again, if things are too bitter for you, and you like the beer because it's not that bitter, then now I guess it's irrelevant because the style is kind of everywhere. So it's kind of
I don't think there's much stopping it, and you do get more flavor out of the New England IPA.
You do,
than you would out of a typical Sierra Nevada Pale.
Then have a session IPA.
Great beer, but it's not going to get the same hop potency at least.
No, and of course I'm being divisive and trying to be entertaining at the same time. But there's a portion of me that feels that way, where it's like, well, what are you after then? If you know what I mean, if you order an IPA but you want it less bitter, why are you after an IPA? And I guess it's like he said, it's about the hop flavor.
And the body.
I suppose you could ask them to order a Zima as well if you want.
I'm waiting for that to come back, man. I can't wait for it. High school me is ready for it.
One day.
So let's vote. Which do we prefer? Let's vote in the studio, and then that way we can ask Ilan what's going on in his hometown, man. Because I gotta say, between the two, the red IPA is throwing me a bit, but I think I like your East better than the West. That's my decision.
I don't remember which one's East or West, but I'm going with the red IPA.
That's the West.
Okay, West then.
Okay. Tasty, which would you prefer?
I'm more like with you. I agree with you, JP. I like the. I think he's done a good job making a New England IPA with this beer because I get the water, the what he's done. The effect is there.
Yeah, if you close your eyes and you don't don't notice
it doesn't have to be cloudy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of beers I get that are like juicy that aren't hazy.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Right.
Because they've done a lot to get a lot of hop flavor into the beer.
Ilan, is that? Do you think? Do you attribute that more to your water chemistry, or is it kind of the practices of the biotransformation and stuff like that lend to that smoother flavoring?
Well, a couple things there. First of all, Minneapolis has great brewing water, really, really good brewing water. It matches up almost to Pilsen, Czech Republic. So you get something really light and basic that you can make nice beers out of, but then you can add in, which is what I like. I like to start with light bases and add in however you want. Mm-hmm. So that makes the brewing life easy for us. But I guess when it comes to the water chemistry for this style, I think it plays a role, but I think that the hops themselves and when you're throwing them in, at least with our base water chemistry, is going to be the vast majority of what makes the beer taste like it does.
Right, so
water chemistry is kind of like the icing on the cake.
Yeah, it's not getting in the way, or it's helping at the very end. So what are you doing? Like a Whirlpool, just a lot of Whirlpool, like late editions kind of thing?
Yep. I think we're only doing a 30-minute for bitter. It's pretty low addition, and then the vast majority is going to be late.
Is in like 5 minutes or flame out even, or
5-0 and flame out. Well, 5-0 and Whirlpool.
Cool.
And of course, dry hop. So our best-selling IPA right now is called Trollway. It's more of a West Coast style year-round beer. And the dry hop addition for both East and West is bigger than all the hops in Trollway.
Wow.
Because you do an early addition that gets the bitterness in the beer.
Just a little bit, yeah.
I see.
I think it's a cool concept, especially for a mixed 4-pack. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then we sold 2 kegs every account, too.
Oh, really? Do you make them take it? Like, hey, look, if you want to order West, you got to order
Well,
East
legally, I
also?
can't do that.
That's a good marketing scheme.
That's true. But our
But
bars,
everyone has taken 2.
They're getting it. They get it. They get the concept.
Oh, totally. I mean, that's the fun. That's the fun of it.
Yeah.
So is there a way for you to get the feedback on the voting, or are you just asking the publicans?
Like in the bars?
What are you experiencing?
Yeah,
in the bars.
Yeah, so we've got the bartenders that are telling us which keg goes first at each account.
Okay.
We've got voting cards at each account. And we've got hashtags for East wins or West wins on both Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Well, that marketing guy.
So right now, East is winning.
East is winning. Okay. Interesting. I mean, I guess I could see that. I mean, they're both great beers. Don't get me wrong. What made you go for a red IPA?
Well, we wanted something that was going to counter the East a little bit more.
Oh,
and we wanted to get something that was a little bit more ruby in color. So it's almost hard to say red IPA per se, but it still ends up, it's not as rich as a red might be. I suppose that style is pretty open. It looks maltier than it is because it's actually relatively dry for what comes out of it.
True.
Well, that's what you want, malt flavor, but dry beer.
Yeah.
So I'm having trouble seeing that as a West Coast beer, West Coast IPA. Is it? I mean,
do you think the West Coast would be lighter?
Maybe West Coast red, or it'd be lighter in color and well, even hoppier. But that's fine. It's plenty. It's like a pretty hoppy beer. I mean, it's got a nice hoppy finish on it. But.
Yeah, I think for the hops, it's right on.
Yeah,
but I don't drink many IPAs, so I don't really know.
I think it's a good comparison of the kind of round, full-bodied, the best aspects, I guess I would say, of East Coast IPA or New England style IPA.
Yeah.
And then the red IPA has a nice, crisp, sharp, clean finish. That's just bitterness, and that's it.
Yeah.
And so this really compares to me what I don't like about the New England IPAs. I don't care so much about the clarity.
Yeah.
Other than the shelf stability issues of having that much yeast and stuff in there. But
right.
I don't like the round, full-body creaminess.
Okay, you like the sharp.
I like if I'm going to have an IPA,
cleanliness of the IPA.
Sharp, crisp, clean finish. That's bitter.
Well,
yeah, and
I always try to make this point about New England style IPAs. The point here is that people that are drinking them are those that don't want that big hop bite. They want it to be muddled and subdued.
Right.
You don't like it. That's fine because you're looking for the other side.
Right.
But there's a bunch of people who are looking for the more muddled and subdued and give me all the hot flavor, but I don't want all that bite.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The nice thing I like to say is it's good that we all like different beers. Because it's kind of like saying if I like pepperoni pizza and you like sausage, but I get angry at you because you don't like pepperoni. That just would be silly.
Right.
Because they're both good.
Well, then,
right.
Then at that point, my only issue is making it shelf stable. At that point, turning out a consistent product.
And really the only argument is, does pineapple belong on pizza? Like, sausage and pepperoni, sure, but pineapple, that's the argument. I say yes.
Well, it depends on which country you're in.
That's true. I mean, and you know what? And to your point, Ilan, I can definitely see that you need something to counter the kind of golden and malt and hops of the East. That West, you get the crisp, you get the pine, and a little bit just a different looking beer. So I could see the red works, and it reminds me kind of a lot of like Evil Twin, not Evil Twin, Evil Twin,
Evil
right?
Twin, yeah. It's a lot lighter version.
Red IPA,
red IPA. I think it's good. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's a great beer.
See, now I'm drinking it. I think maybe I might like the West more.
Oh, coming back to the good
warms
side.
up, the maltiness comes out a little bit. Although, like you said, it's really dry.
It is really dry. Yeah. You can kind of feel
well-made beer.
Like sometimes when I drink beers, I can visualize a graph of flavors, right? Like a line graph, and I could just when I'm tasting it, I can vision the malt, and then right when the dryness starts kicking in, it just drops. I don't know why. It's a visual thing for me. I visualize a graph of this.
Sure.
Is that stupid? It looks like it's going to taste toffee.
Yeah, for sure. And there is a little bit. Just the first blush, and then it's just crisp and dry, and you got that hop bitterness in the back there, and that's really good. I like it. I like the yeast though too. God, I don't like saying that.
Yeah. You can waver. You can waver. I'll be consistent.
You're right. I'm not even listening half the time. God damn it. All right, Ilan, I'll tell you what. Let me take a break real fast, and then we're going to come back and we're going to try your barrel-aged beer.
Awesome.
Which is the Gravity Well Imperial Stout, right? I got that right?
That is the one.
Okay, perfect. Hang on a second. Actually, let me tell everybody about Beersmith. Go to beersmith.com. Get your 21-day free trial of Beersmith. It's really the best software out there. There's a few brewing softwares that are coming up that are like web-based only or whatever. Beersmith.com has everything that you're going to need to plan for to make the beers as consistent as they possibly can be. And you can import all your stuff from any other brewing software. You can type it in. You can add ingredients. You can do all that kind of stuff. But go to their website, beersmith.com, 21-day free trial for beersmith.com. Check them out. Upgrade your brewing. Do some cool shit. All right. We're going to take a break. We have Ilan here from Insight Brewing in Minneapolis. We're going to come back. We're going to talk some more beer. We're going to drink some more beer. And we might burp. I don't know. Who can tell? It's The Session. Hang on.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Your support of the Brewing Network means everything to us. We couldn't produce shows without you. And we love giving you something extra for that support. Like Brew Your Own magazine. You already know it's a great brewing magazine full of recipes, equipment how-tos, discussions of beer styles, and brewing techniques. Whether you're new to brewing and just starting out or you're an old pro, you'll always learn something from the articles in Brew Your Own. Plus, there are amazing special issues like plans for building a Brutus 10 system, 250 classic clone recipes, and the Homebrewer's Answer Book. Brew Your Own magazine and BYO.com are awesome resources for any brewer, whether for yourself or as a gift. When you subscribe or resubscribe from the Brewing Network homepage, you directly support programs like this. Get a great magazine and support the Brewing Network. Subscribe to Brew Your Own right from thebrewingnetwork.com. Do you know the three most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star Sand, SanaClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today. Are you looking for a simple brewing system that's great for all grain brewing, but everything on the market seems to be full of compromises? Blickman Engineering has the answer. The Blickman Brew Easy All Grain Brewing System. The Brew Easy is a complete system with easy upgrades and a beautiful compact design, perfect for any size brewing location. At its core, the Brew Easy is built on two gorgeous Blickman Boilermaker brew kettles, a high-temperature March pump, and either a top-tier gas burner or the new Boil Coil electric heater. The Brew Easy adapter lid allows the pots to stack on top of each other, forming an efficient, strong, and compact brewing setup that comes in 5, 10, and 20-gallon batch sizes. Upgrade your Brew Easy system with full automated control by adding a Blickman Tower of Power temp controller and make moving around easy with the Blickman Kettle Cart. The Brew Easy is modular. If you already own a Boilermaker kettle, you can build your Brew Easy by purchasing just the modules you need. The new Brew Easy all-grain brewing system. See it today at BlickmanEngineering.com and brew with Blickman quality on your new Brew Easy. If you work in retail sales, the restaurant industry, or are a new craft beer enthusiast, or you know someone who is, you have got to check out Beer 101. Beer 101 is an online course created for anyone wanting a quick introduction to the vast world of craft beer. Beer 101 covers the history of beer, brewing ingredients and processes, vital stats like ABV, SRM, IBU, and gravity, styles, tasting, glassware, and pairing beer with food. The Beer 101 course is offered by the Brewers Association at craftbeer.com, also home to the truly awesome Beer Style Finder, a visual guide to every beer style. Quickly play with color, bitterness, and alcohol content to interactively explore the entire world of beer styles with a gorgeously designed interface to your favorite beverage. The new Beer 101 course and new Beer Style Finder are only available at craftbeer.com. Craftbeer.com, celebrating the best of American beer.
Hey, what's up? This is Blake from Creature Comforts. You're listening to The Session on the Brewing Network.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Before we get back to Ilan, I want to tell you guys about the craftbeer.com beer and food course. It's the groundbreaking course that leads professionals and enthusiast chefs alike through the basics of pairing beer and food. Craftbeer.com beer and food course was built by a Culinary Institute of America graduate and a certified Cicerone, so they know what they're talking about. There are two versions. There's a professional version made for chefs, restaurateurs, brewers, and hospitality professionals alike. And the second one is an enthusiast version created for at-home chefs. Learn how to pair beer with your favorite foods, including chocolate, charcuterie, and cheese. You also get to ultimately know beer styles. You'll see data and stories that will convince you that full-flavored beer deserves a place on the menu, along with wine and spirits. Oh, and the course is free. I don't know if we mentioned that. Visit craftbeer.com to learn more about their beer and food course.
All right. You had me at free.
Right?
If you're going to say charcuterie, shouldn't you say chocolat?
Is chocolate a French word?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know.
It's a movie.
It is a movie. Oddly enough, not about chocolate, I think.
Oh, really? I haven't seen it.
Neither have I.
Oh. I think Johnny Depp's in it, right?
Certainly in it.
I don't know. Ilan, have you seen Chocolat?
I have, but it's been a long time, and I have no idea if there's chocolate in it.
Paul Rudd says it's a great way to spend an afternoon.
Are you friends with Paul Rudd
I think
now?
that's a line from a movie. That's what I know about chocolate.
It is a line from another person's movie.
Right. That Paul Rudd's in talking about chocolat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, God damn it, that sounds great, Warren. Now I want to go watch it.
Yeah, you should do. I don't know what movie that is that he's talking about it in.
Oh, that's all I want.
Oh.
I want a third-party opinion on whatever. All right, Ilan, we have you back, that's for sure. And we're getting flashed in the window here by one of the staffers. No, he's not flashing us.
Oh, he's got a churro shirt on.
So Bev is opening up. Actually, I lied. Instead of the gravity well, she opened up the in the halls of the Sunken City.
That doesn't look like an Imperial Stout.
Which is a Saison. Did you cut yourself?
And
Bev just cut herself. Are you bleeding? You're not bleeding. All right, we can move on. Which is a Saison brewed with Sauvignon Blanc grapes.
Is that the... Did it come in a can or a bottle?
Came in a can.
A can, all right. So that is a beer that came off of... The idea of this one came from my bike trip in Belgium and France.
It smells amazing.
In Belgium, I drank some Saisons, and in France, I drank wine. And I had an idea of wanting to blend the two together to keep it a beer, but give a little bit of influence from the grapes into the beer itself.
Yeah.
So this one is a Belgian-style Saison, then brewed with just a little bit more than 10% Sauv Blanc wine grapes. We get ours from Napa Valley, and they are fermented out fully in the beer. And it gives it just a little bit of an accent. But I realized that Sauv Blanc is pretty much the same thing to wine as Saison is to beer. You get that kind of herbal, little citrus character out of it for both Saison and Sauv Blanc. So they seem to partner really well together.
And what hop are we have in this beer?
In this one, we have Cascade and just a touch of Warrior.
You ever tried Nelson Sauvant? Nelson hop?
I know that would be a nice one.
It's like
we have used it before, and it does sound like a natural fit in this beer.
Would be natural.
Yeah, the nose on that is amazing. It smells great.
Man, this is good. Yeah, your water. I just taste the water, and all your beers have been just perfect.
Yeah, we're pretty darn lucky to be in Minneapolis.
All those lakes.
There's a new filtration plant back in 2011.
Well,
so they make some great water out there. There's not even chlorine that comes out of our pipes.
So how do they do that,
man?
Don't you have to have that in the pipes to make sure it makes it to the
You do. So chlorine goes in, but chloramine comes out.
Okay.
And it's low enough levels to where, if need be, you can counter that with sodium thiosulfate. Ended up talking with the city chemist quite a bit before we launched the brewery.
Excellent.
So we had the compound on hand, ready to use if we needed it, and ever needed it.
Are you just sucking water out of the Mississippi? Is that where it's coming from?
That is where it comes from, yeah.
Okay.
You were just
so
being
naturally, you make stouts out of that water, but out of the filtered water, I'm joking here, it's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
So they've been rated highest municipal water supply for at least multiple years running since 2011.
Wow.
But it happens to be that it's really good brewing water, too.
Huh.
So you don't have to do much with it, and what you do is it depends on the beer styles, right? That's obvious, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, you just push it where you want it to go. You don't have to back anything out of it. It's like whiteboard.
Yeah.
What, Ilan? Did we lose you again?
Nope, I'm here.
Okay, good. Okay, sorry.
Just going to drink.
I just wanted to make sure.
He's chugging a beer.
I get nervous about it. I don't want to lose anybody. So do me a favor. Tell me about, we can finally get to the names of the beers and the naming scheme and stuff like that, which I think is really great. How did you guys decide on the naming scheme of your beers? And I don't know if you can describe to our listeners what you're kind of after there.
Yep. So what we do is we travel the world, literally, and get inspiration from different countries, whether it come in the form of a collaboration beer or a new recipe, just a new ingredient, or maybe it's a new process. But what we do is then we take a legend from that part of the world and turn that into our beer. So Sunken City, for example, is from South France. And similar to the sunken city of Atlantis, this one is the sunken city of Wise. And our mythical brewmaster had to dive into the sunken city to retrieve lost scrolls of beer recipes. So we develop a little story behind each beer. And, in fact, we have different stories on our website, different stories on our cans, different stories in the tap room so that people can get a better idea of who this brewmaster is. And we're even working on long-form storytelling now, so it's possible, unless someone else has done it, that we might be the first brewery to write a novel.
Short story on every beer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That would be cool, man.
Wow. Yeah, with a beer pairing for each chapter?
Kind of. I mean, essentially, I've actually read 12 pages. We've actually done some of this. I've read 12 pages of what we wrote, and it was, as enticing as Harry Potter. But it was about beer.
Well, I can't say it's a bad idea. It sounds like
really cool. It sounds like you can even do just a podcast. I mean, there's a lot of story podcasts out there, like Welcome to Night Vale is one of the more popular ones that I like. But you can maybe do something like that too. You guys can just get pretty. You can kind of go wherever with it. There's a lot of. I think there's a growing market for short story format right now.
I think so, and it does let us be a little bit different and go a little bit deeper with our brand, which But there's a lot of beer out there, and there's a lot of good beer out there. So how else can you tell the story of your brewery? And this is how we wanted to do it.
Right. I mean, you can even make like a card game out of it. There's a lot of card games out now, or like some sort of mobile app. Send your brewmaster around diving for the sunken scrolls. You can do all sorts of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Is there imagery for this brewmaster guy?
Not yet, actually, but there will be this year.
I see.
So we're working on 2 different videos right now to bring the brewmaster to life this year.
It'll be like an animation or a costume?
One of them is going to have animation. The other one, actually, I think both of them will have some sort of animation, but there's a lot of real life in there.
Have you guys thought about doing geocaching type stuff? Follow the brewmaster
I am a
around
novice.
the world? I don't know what it means, but it seems like something that would work for you guys.
Yeah, it seems like a word.
$20 question.
It seems like a word I should put in here right now because it might match with the things that you're trying to do.
It sounds like it does.
Oh, good question, Warren.
But yes, we've obviously been working on that.
Yeah, of course. Any good idea we've done already, so don't try to take it.
Right.
Any bad idea we don't want to touch.
Right.
That's pretty much what it is.
I like what you've done with the marketing, the backstory, and the traveling. I would just stay home on the couch and smoke weed to get my creativity. Seems like a lot of extra baggage.
Yeah.
Like a lot of airports.
You know where I need to be in right now? My underwear. Hold on a second.
Whatever. That's great.
All right, so I did just Google geocaching. I totally get it.
I get it.
Yeah, that does actually sound like a good idea. I'm happy to say what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, please tell Warren what his question was.
Well, it at least Google is telling me that it's something, especially with maps today for how detailed they are on your phone, that you can hide things and create kind of a map so that people can find things in real life.
Kind of like Pokemon.
That you have hidden based off of geography or clues or whatever it might be.
Yeah, so you're welcome for that idea.
I appreciate it.
Unless it tanks and then it's tasty.
Follow the brewmaster. Follow the brewmaster.
Oh,
and you could leave a bottle wherever you geocache.
Yeah, litter. Why not?
Yeah, leave a bottle of beer.
So I actually did have an idea for something, I suppose, similar to this. I wasn't even going to do it. Now I feel like I have to. Just because of the name, it's just too kitschy. Easter keg hunt. I feel like I had to hide a keg somewhere around town.
Easter keg hunt.
Yeah.
That would be pretty good.
Look for the pastel keg hidden under a bush.
Sitting in warm sun and ready to...
It'll be amazing.
It's got to be a leprechaun at the end, chicken ID, though.
Well, Minnesota April could be cool enough for a keg outside.
Yeah. That's right.
So I could have sworn that your names were named after like D&D kind of role playing stuff, tabletop gaming.
We've heard that.
D is taking
we've heard that. We've heard Harry Potter. We've heard. We've heard it.
I mean, I would have bet Tasty's right arm that it was. These are all D&D references.
I think the other one it hurts.
Your left arm is hurting.
A little bit.
We should call the police.
Police.
But that's not it at all. Okay. Well, I like yours.
Medics. Yeah.
I like yours.
You should have called a medic. He died like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Oh, wrong.
I wouldn't arrest him.
Thanks, guys. But I like that they're the named after the travels of your fictional brewmaster. I like that.
Yeah, it keeps it fun. There's no lack of legends to use there.
Very good.
Right, for sure.
Also, make sure we have to keep traveling and brewing beer and.
Oh, damn!
My way into that gig. So
that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
So you did some thinking before picking this theme.
Yeah. How can we travel in perpetuity?
Right.
Oh, yeah. Branding.
No, you guys did a great job of marketing. Kraft does a terrible job. You did a great job.
Yeah. You did good, man. Okay, let's get to the Gravity Well, which is your Scotch barrel-aged Imperial Stout. From 2015?
So this is a beer that we age for a full year before we release it at our anniversary party. And the first year we did 8 barrels. That was our first barrel program. And this last year we did 40.
Oh, wow.
And we're doubling that again for next year.
So it's popular.
So it's working, yeah. I actually would have been ecstatic if we had 3 people in line waiting for this beer for our anniversary party. I'm not kidding. Like, no one knew about it. No one tasted it. Ended up we had 300 people in line, which was pretty cool. So... it was nice because you get to run out of the beer, and it makes it a little bit more special that way. But the reason I age Imperial Stouts is I think of them kind of like a nice red wine. There's a reason why right now you're not drinking 2016 Cabernet because it's not ready yet.
Right.
It needs a little bit of time to age and mature and mellow out. So I see dark beers, especially bigger dark beers, as the same. You can get them tasting really good right away, but you give that some time. And in my mind, it's like 8+ months is when you can start to see a lot of Imperial Stouts really mellow out and show off some more complexities, little sherry-like characters. So that's why we age ours a year and makes it a fun one.
Yeah, this beer's worth the wait.
Well, it's it could be more oxidized. It's almost too clean. It's really good. First of all,
you think it's too perfect?
It's like too perfect. This is where, like the barrel was just too kind to it.
Right.
Gosh, I wish that the barrels really would have been like that. There were a few leakers in there.
Really?
Oh, really?
Well, we blended them. They didn't show up in the blend.
Are you getting
we
to
did end
select
up
the
dumping
Scotch?
2 barrels. Yeah.
Okay, well, you have to. Sure.
Are you getting to select the Scotch barrels, or are you just at the mercy of whatever a barrel supplier is giving you?
So we've gone with a lot of different barrel suppliers in the past. We've gone straight to distilleries as well. In this case, we wanted to pick out, so we did 3 different beers of Gravity Well this year. We did the original bourbon barrel and Scotch barrel. Bourbon barrel, we did Woodford Reserve for this year. And Scotch, I actually signed a contract. I can't tell you which one.
No.
But I can say that it's 24 years old.
It's a 24-year-old Scotch barrel?
Yep.
We might have
so
to...
actually, you don't get that much out of it. You get a little bit of oak. You get a touch of Scotch. It comes off kind of smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the bourbon barrel, that one was, I think that one was 12, I want to say.
Is the Scotch...
But that one you got a lot more robust bourbon and oak out of.
Is the Scotch an Islay?
It is not.
Okay.
I was just going to say that it's not very peaty.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was kind of when it was
it comes
reading
off
the bottle.
pretty darn clean, actually.
Yeah, reading the bottle, I was expecting it to be a lot.
That's not
peatier.
this one. So the 2015 has the Scotch that you can't say.
Correct.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the 16 that we're not drinking yet.
No, so we don't have
My
the
bad.
16 right now. Is so our anniversary is in November.
Okay.
So the 2015 was the 2016 release.
Got it. Okay.
But it was brewed in 2015.
Okay.
So the year on the bottle is when it was brewed, not when it was released.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Got it. I'm all over it now.
We're up to speed.
Yeah. If we come if we come for NHC, can we try some of the 16? Why
yeah,
not, right?
absolutely. We'd have to pull it out of barrels, but happy to do it.
Yeah, bring some to the Brewers Night, and we'll
I'm
bring me over
brewery,
there,
man.
and I'll drink the whole thing.
Yeah, I just want to drive around.
Well, there's no time to. Usually, there's no time for us to bar hop.
I'm just going to leave. Just leave Bev will be at the booth. Just leave Bev at the booth by herself, like we do every year.
That's pretty much my life.
That's what she does there.
Yeah,
So.
Sounds like a plan.
Cool.
Yeah, this is
good to know things are changing.
No, yeah, for sure. Well, they're changing. There's just less people to abandon you now.
That's right.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about this beer, Ilan. This is a very big, chewy beer, but clean. And I would say dry, like a dry finish, but a lot of malt. It's not
it's got a good malt flavor, but not malt sweetness. It's great.
Sometimes beers like this, they can leave that like sticky coating on your lips, which is fine. This beer doesn't have that.
I could drink a large volume of this beer, which most like
it's like
stouts are
100,000%. No, it's like 10.8, I think.
Is it that strong? Wow.
Oh wow.
10.5.
Yeah,
No sign of that.
At least my mentality for Imperial Stouts has been to you can get a lot of flavor out of them, but I don't prefer the ones that have final gravities of like 1050. That's just too high.
Right.
I'd rather something that is, I don't know. Maybe you guys agree. Maybe not. Let me know if you don't. But it's again kind of relatively balanced for at least what the beer is, and getting a little bit of that dry character. Just by having such a high starting gravity, you still get that sense of robustness, or if I can make up a word, robustity. Should be a word, by the way.
Yeah, it is now.
Yeah, I think
it's just
so.
going to be robusted?
That's something different.
Robustness just doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get a lot of flavor. There's a ton of flavor out of this one.
Yeah, it's all about
but
that.
But it's still you don't have to really chew it that much. You can still kind of drink it.
Excuse me. I think I see what you mean when you're talking about the balance, and I think some beers like this can be super malty and with a lot of like toffee notes, and then kind of comes a little roast, and yeah, right. But this kind of has everything in moderation, and it's almost like equal parts, and then you get the roastness and the kind of dryness coming in to clean it all up at the finish. It's like the cleanup crew. But you get the toffee, you get the malt, you get all those deeper flavors, but they're all, nothing really stands out. They're very well blended together.
Yeah, and this is one that we had So we do a little bit of age testing at the brewery. And you can get an idea. It's not a perfect science because I think people disagree a little bit on exact temperatures and time, but you can force age a beer based on temperature. It's not going to necessarily be the most suave aging. I think the best aging you can get out there is probably at the bottom of a lake. Just takes longer.
Right.
But if you can have something that sits at, I think we were doing 88 degrees Fahrenheit, and have it sit at that temperature, it's somewhere in the range of about, I think it was three months for every 3 days at that temperature for what you get in terms of oxidation.
Or aging.
And microbial growth, theoretically, if you had to just make sure that you're microbial free. So we had age.
That's what you observed, or is that science?
What's that?
Is that what you observed, or is that science?
No, this one came from. We actually didn't make that one up ourselves. So that one was.
So 3 days, 3 months.
As close to science as you can get. That still isn't a.
But it's sensory-wise.
Agreed on science by everyone.
Okay, you didn't do lab on it to say that it oxidized, or you just sensory-wise it did.
No, we did check oxidation, but even when you age something, the level of oxidation doesn't change, but the perception of the oxidation will change.
What
so
you taste
could have
does, but not the
20 parts per billion, but you'll still have 20 parts per billion in a year. It'll just taste different.
The lab will show the same, but it'll taste different.
Are you barrel aging in a humidity and temperature controlled room?
We are not. We do it at a time of year where we have more control over temperature. So we do have temperature control when we're barrel aging, but it's not humidity control. So we use the hose for that.
So I may have taken us off track here a little bit. So you were talking about the 3 days, 3 months. Continue with that train of thought. What did you find?
Yeah, so what we had done is we took the beer, and I'm putting air quotes around this, we took the beer to 6 years. Because we wanted to see, for one, is it packaged properly? And for two, what's the rough and tough perceived oxidation level that we're going to get in 6 years? And it turned out quite nice, actually. The chocolate came out quite a bit more as the roast went quite a bit down.
Sure.
And that turned a little bit more into sherry character as well, which it wasn't quite. I've had some really old stouts and barley wines before, so it wasn't as abrupt sherry as you might get with the true aging.
Right.
But you could kind of see that poking through a little bit. But you could tell the biggest difference was in the malt profile, where the chocolate started to pop through a bit more.
Okay, so Alana, you've listened to the show. I'm pretty slow. So let me just make sure I got this. So you're saying that you can fake age a beer at 88 degrees in 3 days gives you about 3 months of perceived aging. I know that's all like theoretical, but is that what you were saying? So if I had a barley wine and I had it in the bottle, keep it at 88 for 3 days, that would simulate what it possibly could taste like in 3 months?
Yes, and that's something that I hope Ed, my lab manager, doesn't email me saying, no, it was actually this time.
Email me personally because I want to know the truth.
So, if he I'm pretty darn close.
We'll issue a
retraction if I have to.
Yeah, right. Right.
But yes, that's what I'm saying.
I'm sure that's package dependent too, because the amount of the quality of the seal would affect that. Yeah. Because if you're continuously getting 20
and it depends on how much oxygen was there in the first place, because it's got to be, there's a ton of variables around this, which is why I think that we've talked to a few different lab managers at other breweries as well, and a few of them agree, a few of them don't.
But it's something, right? You can do.
We were trying to find some sort of way to quantify aging.
What was that? Go ahead, Ilan, sorry.
I was saying what we were trying to do is we were seeking to quantify aging in some sort of way so that we could always be using numbers to increase our shelf life on our products and keep getting better and better. But if we didn't have anything to go against, because there were some pretty prominent lab people that from big breweries that were telling us the only way to do it is just to let the beer sit for that long.
Really?
Come on, science.
There's got to be a way.
No. I thought that was known that you could over time and temperature. Yeah. Okay. But okay. So you talked about, like, in terms of shelf life considerations. What about like flavors? Let's say the roast drops out after 3 years, theoretical years. Would you add more roast in the beginning to make sure that's there, or?
Well, I think it depends. So at least the profile that I got off the beer, I'd say probably not.
Okay.
I
it's not
think
that
if
bad.
people are aging a beer, you probably want to see some sort of difference. And in reality, there are going to be people who drink it immediately after they buy it.
Cool.
So you have to balance out a little bit of what do you want it to taste like now and what do you want it to taste like later.
I'm going to ask you one thing now. What would you say to the 300 geeks that got in line and got this beer? How long should they wait before they drink it? Probably half have already drank it, right?
So what I tell people is first of all, we aged it a year. So drink one.
So you made
and
it
then
so it's
save
ready to
another
go.
one for however long you want.
So I get 2, okay.
I like that. I like that concept. You know what? Buy multiples of the thing.
Yeah, buy like 6.
Yeah.
Actually, you need to try it for 15 years, and you have to try one a year.
That's true.
You just have to.
A hard limit 2 per customer.
You make people buy 15 at a time?
Yeah, you have to.
You tell me how to do that, and we'll be good.
So when I see an IPA at my liquor store at 72 degrees, how many? What's it? How many? 3 days is how many months on that? What do you think?
There's got to be
I know
a
it's
scale.
not linear, so I don't know the answer to
Okay,
that.
I'll have to do my own test, I guess. All right.
Yeah, I can tell you probably the way it tastes.
Don't buy it.
Man.
I could tell you a number.
Yeah, right.
Oh, he could tell you a number.
I like Ilan. I think he'd make a good brewcaster. He just make shit up.
Make it up. Yeah, if you don't know, make it up.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? You need a number. You need something to go on, even if it's fuzzy math.
Exactly.
As long as you're doing the fuzzy math consistently, your numbers are going to be consistent relative to whatever shit you just made up.
That's it. It's kind of like IBUs. What does an IBU mean? I don't know yet.
And
but if you have a recipe that says there's 40 IBUs and you know what that means to you, then you know what a 50 IBU beer at the same gravity level means as well.
Right. It's more.
It's more.
Right.
Yeah. That seriously, I have
88
my
degrees,
guesses in life. I will never know what an IBU is.
What do you mean? Just
well, you want there's. So an IBU tells you so little. Like Gravity Well has more IBUs than our best-selling IPA, which is 75, and Gravity Well is at, I think it's 82.
Yeah.
But it's all about the perceived IBU. The IBU to most people means how much bitterness am I going to taste in the beer.
Right.
Whereas it actually is just a balancing component against the malt.
Yeah, I'd like to know whether the beer is like hop neutral, hop forward, hop back, whatever.
Yeah, but it's still just like SRM in that it's only telling you how dark a beer is, not what color it is. Because you can have a red beer that has the same SRM as a brown.
If you can come up with a sexy name for the BU-GU ratio, I think that would be the most useful term for people.
Exactly.
Right. Brewing networkizing.
It's the number on the beer menu that would tell me that, BUG.
Right. And, and I've talked to some brewers in passing where they're like, the worst thing to happen in brewing in the last 20 years is everyone knows what the fucking IBU stands for.
Exactly. They don't know now, so why don't we introduce these, 25-year-olds to these,
and it was
a new term.
Yeah, and I think it was really hit the mark at, 2005-ish or so, early 2000s, where IBUs were everywhere, and then you just have the IBU chasers. Where all the IPA that you were drinking a year ago at 60 IBUs was fine. Now you want it at 70 or 80, and you don't drink that other one because it only has 60, and more must be better.
Oh, have you seen this one? It's 120.
I got to drink it all. That's my new favorite.
It's got to be better.
Yeah. Did you guys get that out in the Midwest there, the kind of IBU panic of the early 2000s?
I think that it's passed a little bit.
Yes, definitely.
I remember it as well, and I remember some of the beers that were 2,000 IBUs. Are they really?
Right, I remember that.
But don't get me wrong, great marketing, I suppose. It sells a couple beers.
Yeah.
But it didn't really tell you much, and people were just looking for more. But now I think, at least in Minnesota, the Midwest usually is the last place to get the latest trends. Every once in a while we can create something. But
have you guys heard of denim? It's amazing.
Aliens Land helps them out a lot.
But we're getting there. Don't worry. Minnesota's actually grown quite a bit in terms of beer in the last 5 years.
That's what I hear.
2 years ago, it was not. It was getting there, but just I've seen the quality of beer go up quite a bit in the last couple of years, which makes my job harder. But,
well, you mentioned 5 years, so we're going to get to experience that. We were there. When When was the Brewers Conference?
2010? Yeah.
So 6 years later, we're going to be back there into that scene.
So,
totally
2010, you had a lot fewer breweries to talk to. We've now, I think we're up to, gosh, I actually don't know the number offhand, 120, maybe 120 breweries.
Wow. So, yes, we haven't been back.
It's going to be night and day.
Yeah, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but the hotel, in order to get a good craft beer, we had to go to like a bar that was like a mile away. Like I remember having to leave the location.
It was sort of a wasteland
for beer. Yeah, and it was kind of shocking.
Yeah, that won't be the case.
The main reason was there was a law here that prevented breweries to have tap rooms. So people were scared to start breweries and sell 2,500 barrels of beer and fail because you didn't have enough money.
Right.
But that law passed, and then breweries just popped out of the framework. And,
my God.
And it's been tremendous growth here for the past 5 years now.
The person that introduced that bill should have a statue in the town square because that's
he's still pretty active as well. He was the mayor, and he's people like that guy.
I can see why, man. I can see why.
Bring him to the festival and buy him a beer.
Speaking of trends, what's going on there in Minneapolis that you're seeing that we should be on the hunt for in June when we hit your spot?
Right now, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of funny. Surprise, IPAs. But IPAs are the biggest growing, not just in craft beer in general, but in Minnesota. It seems like everyone's trying to get the latest IPA out. And I'd say even by June, there's going to be a lot of New England IPAs in the market as well. I think we were the second one to get a New England IPA for a Minnesota brewery into a can. I think we were only second by like a week. But there's a lot of other breweries that are throwing out that style. So we're pretty IPA heavy here.
Okay. So I should beware.
Now you guys will probably come and laugh at us when I say IPA heavy.
What's this pale ale doing here?
But yeah, now we're doing a little bit with sours as well.
Oh yeah,
we're a little underdeveloped in that area. We've got we did our first. I shouldn't say sour; it's more of just a funky beer. And then our first actual sour is coming out later this month. But even we are still, kind of at the forefront of the sour industry in Minnesota. There's a few out there now, but it's not a ton.
Okay. That sounds interesting, man. I can't wait. It sounds like new territory for us, West Coasters, that's for sure.
Yeah, and a little blindness of familiarity as well. So when you get here, you'll probably see a few things that I miss.
We'll be sure to write in our report back to you.
Yeah, hope we meet you there.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
No,
man.
guys, reach out. Let's grab some beer from barrels when you're out here and have some fun.
Yeah, that sounds great. Ilan, I appreciate it, man. Insight Brewing, how can people find out more about your beer, Ilan?
Yeah, probably the best place would be website or Facebook, insightbrewing.com. Otherwise, just find us Insight Brewing on Facebook. We keep it pretty updated and have some fun on there.
Awesome. That sounds great. I really appreciate the time, and I appreciate you sending us beers. They were outstanding, man. It was great.
Yeah, it was great being on the show. I appreciate the invite.
Awesome. Yeah, anytime. And we'll track you down in June for sure. Don't worry about that. You said barrel samples, and that guarantees we'll be there.
Yeah, we'll have some fun.
Yeah. All right, man. Take it easy.
Good deal. Cheers, guys.
Bye. Good beers.
Yes.
Yeah, very pleased.
And this barrel one, the gravity well, keeps changing.
Oh,
as it's warming up?
Yeah, as it's warming up.
As dark beers do.
Yeah.
They do, right? But for me, it's very different. It's like a hypercolor T-shirt, if I can date myself for a bit. Hypercolor T-shirt. You never heard of it?
I get more roast now.
A tie-dye T-shirt?
I was getting more roast, and then I'm getting kind of more toffee and less roast, and it's kind of just doing this thing.
Well, yeah, those minor esters show up when they warm up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm getting more chocolate.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so good.
I need more. I don't.
Here, there's half a bottle of it.
The tasters we have don't let you get the last.
No, they don't. If you have a big nose, if you have a Greek nose like me, or Casey has a big nose too, like you got to do the whole 180 degrees backwards thing. Here we go. Before we take a break, Adam and Eve is determined to help you spice things up in the bedroom, and they're backing up that promise. Check this out. Go to adamandeve.com, and you'll get 50% off almost any item when you enter offer code BNARMY at checkout. Okay, That's a good deal in and of itself. We all know that. Of
course.
BN Army, right? BNARMY. Now, backed by popular demand and for a limited time only, you'll also get a free Big O kit. Who doesn't love the Big O, right?
Right.
We have to have it. We actually need it. I think we crave it.
It sounds complicated.
I know, but it's not. Adam and Eve's Big O kit includes their exclusive Climax gel and a mini vibrator. So now you've got a new way to get her off, which is pretty good. What girl wouldn't love that? You'll also see. I'm tongue tied talking about it, juicing me. So
are you using one right now?
I might be. Either that, or I'm getting a phone call. It's weird. You'll also get your entire order sent to you for free. So hurry up, take advantage of this limited time offer. You can choose a new adult toy, a naughty movie, or almost anything else. When you choose that one item at 50% off, you'll also get free shipping, plus that aforementioned Big O kit, which includes the Climax gel and the mini vibrator. You won't find this deal anywhere else. Just use offer code BNARMY at checkout. That's BNARMY. You guys know how to spell that. BNARMY at adamandeve.com. I love those guys. Okay, Here we go. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. I got a little bit of beer news because, especially here in the Bay Area, there's some big beer news happening. So we're going to chat about that, and I think that might be it. Oh, we got Twitter game, of course, to do, and all that kind of shit. It's The Session. Hang on, we'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and freshest ingredients and the best customer service in the business. Check out their brand new patent-pending mash and boil 110-volt electric mashing and boiling unit. This compact all-stainless unit lets you mash, sparge, and boil just about anywhere that has a 110-volt plug. Double-wall construction adds to efficiency and safety, and a precise thermostat keeps temperatures where you want them. Unlike insulated buckets and converted coolers, multiple temperature rest mashing is easy to do, all for under $300. They also feature the Mark II work pump, a magnetic drive high-temperature pump that does the work of pumps that cost twice as much, as well as exclusive Brewer's Edge regulators and quality Keg King kegs and disconnects. Check them out today at williamsbrewing.com to brews their vast selection. With over 20 years of experience making world-class craft beer and more than 100 gold medals in international competitions, Moylan's Brewing Company is not just a pretty face in craft beer. Just ask Brendan Moylan.
What do we got here? The beer of the hour. Moylan's, gotta love that big M. It's like a sign of awesomeness. Woo-hoo! It's got an extra kick to it. Let's pour this bad boy. Oh, yeah. Oh, Moylan's. The end of the night when the kids are finally in bed, the wife's in bed, nobody's bothering your ass anymore. That's Moylan's time. Moylan's is for you. Yeah. It's to help you out. Yeah. It helps me out.
What?
Well, because it's freaking awesome. Northern California brewed. It's brewed with love.
With love?
Oh, yeah. Tremendous. And it's always best where?
Moylan's.
You gotta try it. On tap at Moylan's in Novato. They're friggin' awesome. Not only because I own the brewery, because I love the beer.
Cheers!
Boom.
Kilt Lifter Scotch Ale takes big beers to a whole new level with rich malt balanced perfectly with delicate hops, and now comes in 4-pack tall boy cans so you can take the party on the go. Or come to the brewery, take a tour, and try any of Moylan's fresh creations right from the source. Check them out at moylans.com.
Hey there, BN Army. Have you heard the latest at Hop Tech? Since Hop Tech has doubled in size after a huge expansion, Jade and Roberto can stock even more of the best quality homebrewing supplies and equipment. Over 60 kick-ass varieties of hops and malts, monster truckloads of quality brewer's yeast, including White Labs, Y-yeast, and multiple dry yeasts. They even have all grain systems from Grainfathers and Ruby Street Brew Systems, thanks to Jade, the brand new all-grain brewer. And don't forget about their 10% discount to all BN Army members. Jade and Roberto are waiting for you and all of your brewing questions over at hoptech.com. Hoptech, totally not sucking since 1983.
Hey guys, what'll it be?
I'm not sure. What do you recommend?
A lot of people seem to like the Hefeweizen.
Is that a German Hefeweizen or more of an American-style wheat beer?
I'm not sure, but I can give you a taste.
Okay, great.
The Cicerone Certification Program certifies and educates beer professionals in order to elevate the beer experience for consumers. Unfortunately, not every bar is staffed with certified beer servers who can guide their customers through a beer list.
Here you go, guys. Let me know what you think of the Hefeweizen.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely more of an American meat. But I can hardly tell because this beer just smells like sour butter. I wonder how long it's been since they cleaned the draft line.
Yeah, and look at the bubbles on the side of the glass. It's filthy.
Somebody should tell these guys about the Cicerone program.
For sure. How about we head somewhere else for another beer?
Your server should give beer the same respect you do. Request quality. The Cicerone Certification Program offers 4 levels of beer certification, in-person classes, and course books for beer professionals. Check them out at cicerone.org. The Cicerone Certification Program. We know beer.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters. This is Jamel Zanishev, and I want to tell you about Heretic Evil Twin. You might be familiar with my homebrew recipe, which uses massive late hopping to create a balance between the malty sweet and the hoppy bitter, along with an outrageous malt and hop character. I wanted a beer with the same bold hop and malt character, so we played around with the homebrew recipe until we were able to make a great commercial version too. We've created a beer rich in malt character, full of caramel, toast, biscuit, and an ever so subtle roast note. On top of that, we piled in an insane amount of Citra and Columbus hops at the end of the boil, as well as in dry hopping. This damn-the-cost approach to hopping gives Heretic's Evil Twin a great blast of citrus and tropical fruit that can't be matched by any other hop. The result is a bold, malty, hoppy, but easy-drinking beer. This is our top seller, our flagship beer, and I couldn't be prouder of it. Cheers.
To find Heretic beers near you, click on Find Some at hereticbrewing.com.
Hey, this is Julian Trego from Beechwood Brewing, and you are listening to The Session on the Brewing Network.
All right, thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Boy.
It's tough work, right? Man, I tell you, these beers, they got me going.
Yeah.
They got me a little...
I'm ready to either have some more or stop doing this.
Right. I had to get a glass of water, and I'm like, wow, what's going on right now? Maybe it's that coffee finally coursing through me.
Maybe I should drink more of the coffee one.
Yeah, I saved a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to hit more of the coffee one. Check out everybody. Neshaminy Creek Brewing. Actually, they're going to be on the session, I think, in a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah?
We're going to get them on finally. Yeah, nice. Jeremy from Neshaminy Creek is going to come on. They've been on the Philly Beer Map since 2012. They're a 3-time Philly Beer Scene Magazine Brewer of the Year, 14, 15, and 16. 2-time GABF Vienna-style lager medal winner. In 2013, they won the gold. 2016, they won the bronze. And also, they got a bronze for their smoked lager in 16 as well. They're huge. They've recently expanded, and they've recently renovated their tap room with 24 beers of theirs on tap, 18 of which are rotating and seasonal limited beers, which is really cool. They're nice. Trying to keep things fresh there. It sounds like they're doing a great job.
It's like a brewery tap room and a rotating tap house at the same time.
Yeah. They have a variety of styles from hoppy double IPAs to sessionable and poundable lagers to oak fermented saisons and sour beers. Everything anybody could ever want. And free brewery tours on Saturdays. They're opening a second location this spring. Check out all the cool stuff. NeshaminyCreekBrewing.com. Yeah, I can't wait for that show, man. That's going to be pretty rad. I mean, that's a lot of awards for people to win, dude.
Right.
And
of good beer styles.
Of good beers, right. And that was the other thing that kind of turned me on to it. I was like, wow, you guys are kind of doing a lot and getting recognized for doing the things that other people kind of are ignoring, which I really enjoy.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, man. Thank you very much. I'm actually trying to get Jeremy out here for it, but I don't think that'll happen.
Oh.
That'd be cool.
You should try harder.
I don't think I can.
That's fair.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, let's do some beer news. Tasty, what do you think? You ready for some beer news? All right.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's start with something fun, though.
Oh.
Budweiser... Our friends at Budweiser.
Yeah, for all you do, this one's for you.
Right. They're exploring how to brew beer on Mars.
You never know. It could be a beer shortage there.
Let me say that again.
Wait a second.
Budweiser is exploring how to brew beer on Mars.
That's just lowering their carbon footprint.
Right. Let's see. As scientists search for life on Mars and plot a way for people to live there in the future, Budweiser is hard at work, Warren, figuring out how to make life in space a little more fun.
Because for all the people living on Mars right now.
Well, maybe they think it's going to take that long to
it's
like...
It's a planning thing. I mean, you got to plan how to make vegetables and what to do with the piss and the shit and all that.
Okay.
You have to do all that stuff, and you got to get high, right?
All the animal piss plant
so
piss.
They got to learn how to grow weed and make beer.
Zero gravity seems like a great place for a hazy beer. Maybe let's send all the New England IPA up there.
Let's do that.
Then it'll never settle.
New Mars IPA, the NM IPA. Right. Apparently at South by Southwest Interactive in Austin, Budweiser announced its plans to research and produce a microgravity beer on a panel moderated by the Martian star Kate Mara. I don't know who these people are.
Wait, what?
They're discussing the future of... I don't know. It's the article.
I feel like I'm in a science class.
I think you might be. They're discussing the future of space colonization.
Okay, fine.
And so the VP of Budweiser and the VP of Budweiser's marketing and innovation
it sounds like a marketing deal to me.
Yeah. They outlined experiments and research that will go into this Martian beer. Apparently, the biggest challenge of brewing beer in space is the lack of gravity.
Yes. Centrifuge.
Yeah, they say, quote, when you're in a zero-gravity environment, a beverage with carbonation is going to be an issue.
Oh, right.
Right.
And in airplanes it is, too, like 35,000 feet. It's
right, we talked about that last time, too, right?
So imagine it being on another,
another whole deal. However, Budweiser is researching options to work with the microgravity environment that exists on Mars to develop beer that can be consumed there.
Maybe they can fix airplane beer. Right.
That'd be great.
That would be great.
Right? They say it's a dream that builds off our relentless focus on innovation. Relentless. Listen to this quote.
Relentless focus on marketing.
Dude, this is by Richard, I'm sorry, excuse me, Ricardo Marquez, which is the VP of Budweiser. He says...
Whoa, is this... Okay. Right,
he says, when we can enjoy a few ice-cold buds on the red planet... that will be the moment when we can truly realize our dreams of space colonization.
Who's we? Him and some,
all the other fucking VPs of fucking marketing, man.
Yeah. Not when we get a human to Mars.
Right.
No.
But once they can crack a nice cold bud.
We know that colonization of Mars could be a decade or two away, but we want to make sure that Budweiser is the beer that people are toasting with on Mars when we get there. These people are insane. They're crazy motherfuckers.
Why don't they just create artificial gravity like in Total Recall?
I like Insight's marketing campaign much more. It's more organic. It's just natural, you know? Mars, come on.
Speaking of natural, you might have heard that there's a new planetary system that was found recently.
With all the Earths.
Yeah, and it was called the TRAPPIST system.
Yes,
it was?
Yeah, and I thought it was kind of just this, it was a happy coincidence, right? Apparently the astronomers who found it, they named it the TRAPPIST system because they're beer fans.
Oh.
They're Americans, beer fans?
They're Belgians.
They're Belgians. Oh, fine.
I had no idea.
Well, I thought it was like connoisseurs here, but just regular people there. So.
Right, that's what I thought too, right? Just how a team of 5 Belgian scientists discovered one of the most remarkable planetary systems and named it after their favorite beer is a story of ingenuity, persistence, and luck. TRAPPIST-1 is the name of a system of 7 Earth-sized planets orbiting a dwarf star just 40 light-years away. 3 of the planets sit in the habitable zone of their star, making it possible that they could support liquid water on the surface and sustain life. The researchers also...
Can you have sex? That's all I wanted to know.
Probably.
That's what matters.
You know what? The human spirit will prevail and conquer that boundary regardless of what it is.
Sure, I get that. A lot of drive there.
Yeah. The researchers also nickname each exoplanet, those that orbit stars outside our own solar system, after monastaic Trappist beers like Roquefort, Orval, and West Vleteren.
Oh, they named it too.
Yeah, cool. That's kind of cool, man. People remember it very well because the name is very peculiar and that it's linked to a Belgian project, said astronomer Emmanuel Yehine.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know. Trappist beer bottles and exoplanet posters are proudly displayed inside team members' modest offices at the University of Lille. A small control room with 4 computers is used to monitor their telescopes thousands of miles away in Chile and Morocco.
Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of cool, man.
Yeah, I think they should get a couple tribute beers.
So why isn't Anheuser-Busch trying to brew beer on those planets?
Yeah, I don't know. They should sponsor a Trappist monastery to go up there. And
it's just water is one of them.
Send a few monks over there.
Right. This is kind of cool. When they discovered the planets, not only were they able to confirm their find, over the next year they discovered a staggering 6 more exoplanets closely orbiting the same star. This is Guillaume, one of the teams. He says, I was dreaming of 1 planet, so when we saw 2, it was becoming crazy. 3, totally crazy. And then in 2016, 4, 5, wow. It was like some fantasy, some kind of dream. It's like a cosmic joke.
So when are we going to get there?
Never.
Oh, okay.
It's going to take like 39. Oh, I guess we can travel there. If we could travel by the speed of light, it'd be like 39 years or something like that. Never.
Right. Too much carbon in the air. It won't last that long.
No. Anyway, that's kind of cool. I like that. I thought it was just the TRAPPIST system. For me as a beer guy, I'm like, oh, that's a beer thing. But apparently it wasn't, or apparently was, but I didn't think it was. Anyway, whatever.
Right. You assume scientists are too smart for that.
Right. Who's going to be drinking fucking beer, dude?
Right.
Idiots.
Or these guys.
Or take a bottle of schnapps or something.
Right. Yeah, right? Like the Goldschlager system. Yeah. I thought for sure that would, the Jägermeister planetary.
The Grey Goose.
Who would drink Budweiser?
Yeah, really? Fucking Bartles and James system.
30 years from now, that's going to be what you want to drink? Really?
Yeah.
Come on.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wonder when, Coors or Budweiser are going to be sponsoring these finds so then they can name these planetary systems like the Zima fucking system or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this system's for
Zima
you.
1.
Yeah, be a Beechwood 4. Sounds great. Beechwood aged.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, so on a serious note, and this kind of will lump 2 stories into one, but I do kind of want to talk about it. It's pretty interesting. There's a brewery here in San Francisco called Speakeasy, and they've been around for a long time. Apparently they're closing their doors. They're just shuttering the whole thing. And this is from Beer Scene Mag. And it's interesting. They go, will 2017 be the year the bubble finally begins to burst? San Francisco's Speakeasy Ales and Lagers have been brewing beer since 1997, but today announced it had no choice but to cease operations. According to Speakeasy's founder and CEO, Forrest Gray, the brewery has worked with multiple investment banking groups and has numerous meetings. One fact has become central to the process, and that is the company is financially insolvent and requires new capital to move forward. Whether that will happen is unclear, but I do hope the brewery and brand will persist. There's a chance that Speakeasy will one day open again or fire up the brew house, but one has to think that the odds are slim. The scene has become inundated with breweries, and competition has never been tougher. The scene is only going to become even more flooded with dozens of breweries in the works in the Philadelphia region alone. I guess this guy's from Philly. With a majority of these breweries opening with small production focused on selling a majority of their beer on premise, it makes competition for production breweries even stiffer. So I thought that was really interesting. Forrest's quote, they're working with multiple investment banking groups and have had numerous meetings. But if you go out, pretty much throw a rock in any bar in the area, you're going to find a Speakeasy handle.
They got a lot of handles. A lot of the sports venues are in there.
Yeah, they're in Packville Park or whatever. Yeah, sure. Right.
They've been around a long time. They have, and they've had a great focus on sales and so forth. But there's clearly the overhead has exceeded the ability to get more capital to run it.
Yeah, and how does that
financial issues?
Yeah, how does that?
Well, it's like any business. You could open up a pizza chain and have a business problem. I don't think it's associated with craft at all.
I mean,
it's not a bubble. Yeah. It's a bad business. Business went bad. It could be a chicken processing plant or something.
They're operating in San Francisco on the peninsula. That's not a cheap place to run any kind of business.
Well, they're in the city, but they're in
South San Francisco.
Yeah, they're in Hunters Point. That's pretty cheap.
Yeah, but labor and it's not cheap to have people work.
No, yeah, you're right.
In San Francisco.
But they've just gone through some recent expansions. I know they put in a new brew house.
Okay,
yes, put in a packaging line.
I guess
they put in a tasting room. That's really nice build out.
Yeah,
if you haven't been there, you should. Well, it's too late now.
Too soon.
You missed it. They've done some expansion, and unless you do those in a way that they're going to have the return on investment.
Yeah.
In a reasonable amount of time, you're going to get into the situation where you can't get the cooperage to expand, and then the banks are going we can't give you any more money because you're not worth as much as you want. We're not going to sign for it. It's not secure.
And I did hear a couple of the quotes made it seem like they were just saying we can't continue because of financial reasons. Yeah. More like a financing thing where the huge capital investment that they did recently just isn't coming to fruition in terms of adding business that they were expecting it to.
And so they can't get more.
Right, exactly. So the bank's not going to give them a continuation.
Yeah.
No,
time after time. They might for a little bit.
If they made if their beer lineup was like say Russian River, I'd be sending them money right now. I'd let's just buy the place because why not, right?
Yeah.
But their beers are not that. I'm not saying they're bad beers. I'm not saying that there's great beers. They have great followings.
Yeah.
And I've drank a lot of their beer and I've liked it a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying they're not that kind of brand.
Okay. All right. And I guess that was really the question. Just because you see people have tap handles all over the place doesn't necessarily mean the cash flow coming in is enough to pay the bills. But it seems like how do you get to that point in the first place?
Well, they've been around for so long. They've had a long time to grow. And when they started in 97, the competition wasn't as heavy. Mm-hmm. And so by the time the local competition, I guess, and even kind of outside competition pressing in, they were already of a certain size where it's like, well, we have to keep growing at this rate in order to be viable ourselves. But their lineup maybe just wasn't varied or didn't hit the right marks to compete with all of the other thousands of breweries that have popped up since 97.
Right. In my mind, it's a competition.
But no doubt about it. I mean, you look at the handles that they're on, the places that they're on at.
Yeah.
You go there, you see all these, more instance, new breweries got handles there.
Yeah.
And, where they might have 3 handles, now they only have 2. That affects,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And the craft beer consumer now doesn't have brand loyalty.
No, they're actually more loyal to the brand new guy. They want to try the new guy.
Yeah. They're loyal to the tap they haven't seen.
Yes.
More so than a beer they've had before.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, and so here's another brewery, another article about a brewery closing that I wanted to read because I think it's sort of relevant, and I don't know. It might be, but we'll see. This is from a brewery in Orange, California, down in L.A., Valiant Brewing. They announced on Sunday that it will soon close for good. This is from a press release from their website. They said, when we started this company, we made a strict personal decision. We never wanted to bring in investors. Maintaining full control of the company and what it represents is very important to us. The direction to have additional resources could have put Valiant on the road to greater success, but at what cost? That is the underlying question, and as such, both my wife and I made the choice that since we couldn't give up our company to investors, in addition of running short of funds to support our family, we've made the extremely hard decision that we need to find someone who would purchase our equipment before continuing and risking the chance of harming our family. This event has taken place, and as such, after March 31st, 2017, Valiant Brewing will no longer be in business. So it sounds like they needed capital to expand and do the things, and they decided not to be indebted to anybody else and potentially run into the problems that Speakeasy's having. I don't know.
It's the opposite end of the spectrum.
Right.
Essentially, it's kind of lucky for Ilan, he found a partner that was a finance guy.
Yes.
Because essentially, from what I can take away from the Speakeasy situation and from what it sounds like here, it's purely business organization and financial issues.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just... And the idea is great of, I want to own my own company and be the majority share. I don't have to answer anybody and all that stuff. And it's a huge issue with the idea of promoting nano breweries and whatever smaller than nano. There's now a new term. I forget what it is right now. But
smaller than nano?
Where it's just essentially a large homebrew system. You're basically you got a 26
30 days and you're going to go.
I thought that was nano.
I thought there was a smaller than nano.
There might be.
But illegal homebrewing?
Right.
But it's just you're never going to make money at that. It's not going to be financially viable. And you're going to get to a point where either you have to take on investors or you make this decision and then realize that, now we can't make it work.
So you save, I don't know, $20,000 for a nano system or whatever, and you think that's going to be great, but the money you're putting into it will never be exceeded by the money that you're generating from it, and you're kind of just always going to be that way.
Right. You think, I'll prove a concept, and then I'll be able to just get money.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't always happen.
Well, it can happen. If you say you go out. We haven't... established this is a nano at all, right?
No, right. But I'm just saying the risk is with the small.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
Smaller risk. All right, so you start out and you start open up a brewery, and then when you get to the point where you can't expand because you can't get 5% money because money's never been cheaper than it is now. As long as you have a balance sheet, you can show operating numbers.
Right.
So I can't believe that Valiant in this case couldn't show if they can't show operating numbers, that would bank wouldn't give them money, then I think they didn't have the numbers.
Well, they would need. I mean, typically you need at least 10%, anywhere from 10% to 25% down payment. So they would need a pretty significant chunk of cash to even get
or value. They would put the company up against the loan,
right?
So if the company wasn't 10% of the loan, right?
And with the craft beer scene growing so fast, so quickly, I could see some banks, if you haven't done it before or don't have any strong business
you don't understand the concept,
right?
sure.
If this is your first thing and you've been doing it for a couple years, you're not a professional brewer or haven't built other businesses.
But there's data about craft in general that's available to banks.
Sure, right.
I mean, there's like some sort of food index.
Oh yeah, I'm sure in craft the Brewers Brewers Association will
star rating or some shit.
But I could see banks not being willing to just cut anybody a check.
No.
They'll wait for someone to be like, oh, well, you actually have somebody that's built a brewery or worked at a larger brewery to what you're growing to.
Or you have a P&L that shows a profit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
an ability to pay back.
I think banks who want to get into financing breweries are kind of maybe getting pick of the litter now and maybe not necessarily just cutting checks to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, coming across these two stories, to me it seems the market is tough. It's a lot harder than it was 5 years ago, and not everybody's going to make it for whatever reason. I mean, it sounds like Valiant didn't want to take on any investors.
I don't see a lot of failures, do you?
I don't really keep track of them, and I think that's part of our. I think that's part of our industry is we don't really tout the failures. We tout the new brewery opening up or all the awards, but I don't know how many breweries
might be
are closing.
underreported.
Yes,
I think it's just underreported. Yeah,
Yes.
because nobody talks about it because we don't want to talk about
Nobody's
it because we're promoting. I think they're collecting it, but
I've seen some numbers.
In Celebrator a lot. I would say every issue there's the closings. They always list the closing. I could be lying,
but I don't get any too many personal this guy there.
No, I agree. This is the first for me. This is
I live in a pretty big beer world here.
Yes,
I don't get a lot of that, but but I'm not looking at the bigger world.
Right, and for Speakeasy to close, that's the biggest one I think in this area since Pyramid pulled out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Pyramid essentially shut down.
Yeah,
most of its production outside of the Craft Brewers Alliance or whatever their organization is there.
Yeah, CBA.
So,
and I don't know if there's any answer or an appropriate question to even be asking. I just thought it was very interesting, and it's these two breweries, one that couldn't get enough funding and one that didn't want to get funding to stay open. It sounds like,
and that seemed kind of almost more of a personal choice of wanting to have control. And
that's what they had said. They're like, this is from the beginning. This is the personal choice that we made to never do this, never go in debt, never get investors.
Right,
and we can't. But so I mean, I guess. Money
you can
coming.
do that if you make money to grow, but it's a really slow grow.
Right. Or if you already have a small fortune and are willing to invest.
Beer's a volume business, so you got to make a lot of it.
Right.
Especially if you have multiple people involved. You have like a large volume of beer to make money. So, I mean,
it's just it's a great hobby and it's real easy to get passionate about it. But when you're going to open up a brewery, you're running a business now.
You have to be able. Yeah, it all is a whole different.
Yeah, it's not just about making beer.
Right, and part of that, talking about it is also just to bring it up to these people who want to open a brewery that haven't thought about this. It's just because you're open and people are buying your beer doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win.
Right.
That there's a whole side of it that you've got to figure out.
90% of the people voting on your beer don't know shit. So,
right.
They love it. Don't take that personally.
Right. Anyway, that was beer news. That was it.
Yeah.
Real sad beer news. But, hopefully the Speakeasy guys pull it out and stay around, man.
Yeah.
Twitter game. Twitter game.
Yeah. So we had quite a bit of responses, so I kind of picked out. I'm pretty sure all of us got one, and even Jay from the Rare Sour Hour.
Got the Rare Sour Hour.
Got a nomination.
Bill. Really?
I did include two for Tasty because
they're so good.
Well, because I posted the Twitter game on Twitter before we talked about it.
Yeah.
And so someone did say Saint Tasty, Saint of the Low Hug.
Okay.
Patron saint of the Low Hug.
Okay. You think they copied us?
Well, no, it was. They tweeted it before we talked about it.
Before we even talked about it.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I included it, so we can count that one. Or there's another tasty one if we want to.
Easy joke.
Right. Yeah. His other one is good also, so we can.
I have a strict rule of one entry per person.
Oh no, it's not the same person.
Okay, good.
It's just Tasty gets 2 nominations.
I get
Got it.
mentioned.
Everyone else gets 1.
All right, let's hear more.
All right, so there
Stop
was that
fucking
one.
around.
There was that one that we might gloss over.
Okay.
Then we have Gob, G-O-B, I guess.
All right.
No,
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's
probably Ben, and he just can't see
Goob.
it. Yeah.
Right. St. Doc says, protector of the tongue-tied, knee-walking, brew-crazy, toothless wonders.
Okay.
So it's a very specific group of people.
Yeah, I don't understand that one. I'm going to pass on that one.
Let's see. Ryan says St. JP, the patron saint of disliking things.
I love it already.
You do?
Sure.
It sounds like you should.
Who said that, Brian?
Ryan.
Ryan, same thing.
Mark says Jay from the Sour Hour is the patron saint of people being interrupted by Jewish producers.
I've never heard an episode of the Sour Hour in my entire life.
That.
I feel like this should be the iTunes summary.
It's pretty much it every time.
Is it?
Yeah. It's a co-host thing, and you're like, it's a Sour Beer Show, dude.
Dude.
Bro.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, Matt says Bevo, patron saint of drunks, let's see, perverts, and imbeciles. All 3.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah. Brian says Justin will be the patron saint of vacations, or Kim will be the patron saint of sexism. So I guess he kind of nominated 2 in 1 tweet. I don't know if that counts.
I'm going to throw him out. Fuck that
Okay,
guy.
yeah, you don't get 2.
He had a good one with Justin.
Right.
He was on the
He
list.
should have stopped there.
Yeah.
All right. No Beer Left Behind says Beardy, patron saint of sightless brewers.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very on the nose. But,
right, yeah.
I like that brand for that state.
Right,
yeah.
All the blind brewers out there.
Yeah, like,
well, we have Blind Brewer in the chat room all the time, right?
Right.
We have one. You have one.
Right. So I'm the saint for that guy. Whatever saints do,
Maybe
for those people.
Well, they don't brew for him, I'll tell you that.
And then Brian with a B.
Jesus Christ, how many fucking Brian Ryans do we have?
I don't know. This one's Brian Beaver.
Okay.
This is the other tasty one. Tasty, patron saint of the midday nap and defining biotransformation.
Defining. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I'll put that on the list. Why not?
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, that was it. Wow, we kind of did all get
midday nap.
One.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the ones that I had, and you guys can add one if you want. I had Ryan for St. JP because obviously you have a big ego. Matt for St. Bevo of imbeciles or whatever.
Oh, yeah, drunks.
Yeah.
Perverts and imbeciles.
No Beer, St. Beardy for fucking blind people. And then Brian, St. Tasty for whatever he did.
The midday nap.
And then
midday nap.
And the other one was...
the Scott one.
Oh, you want to put that one too? Which?
Yeah, St. J.
St.
Oh, yeah.
Who said that?
Mark Wilson.
I got a big rise out of that one, frankly.
Yeah.
St. J. I forgot about that one.
Patron saint of people being interrupted by Jewish producers.
Okay, well, vote on your favorites. Bev, which was your favorite? The St. J? All right. Tasty?
Yeah.
Well, that might
you like
win.
that?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. All right, Mark, you win.
Hey, Mark Wilson.
St. J.
He is the nicest one of us, I think. So
When you retweet that, are you going to retweet the winner?
Yeah, I usually do.
You should tag Bray Barrel in it.
Okay.
That way Jay will see it.
Way to go, Jay. You're a saint now.
Yeah, God bless you, my friend.
You have to be dead first, so you will be a saint.
You will be saint, yes. You will be...
it's a matter of time.
Whenever you're ready.
You'll exist in Cantonese, is that what it is?
I think that's what canonized is when you get translated.
To Cantonese.
Right.
Yeah, I think so, too. Okay, well, that was good, Warren. Thank you very much.
Right.
I appreciate that.
You and all the people at Beer Law Center are welcome for that.
Yes. Thank you, Beer Law Center, for providing us with that segment. We really appreciate it. Also, thanks to the folks at Drake's for, for being around still and for expanding. They're moving into Sacramento region, and they're pushing their great beer all along California. We love it. So if you're in town, grab some Drake's. 1500 is a personal favorite of everybody here on the show.
Absolutely.
If you're in San Leandro, hit up Drake's. If you're in soon-to-be Sacramento, do that. If you're in Oakland, they have the dealership. Hit up Drake's there, too. And eat some food and drink some beer and figure out, what Drake's is all about, man. You won't be disappointed. Are we done?
Is that it?
I think so.
Oh, shit.
Do you not have the plugs?
I could do that.
Yeah. I don't want to twist your arm or anything, Warren. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
No, it's fine.
Everything is great over here.
Yeah.
And very organized.
Well, I do want to thank Ilan from Insight Brewing.
Yeah,
the beers were great. I can't wait to give the leftovers to the staff.
Yeah, I'm to meet him in Minneapolis.
They won't be getting any of the coffee.
No, that shit's gone.
She gone.
Yeah, that's actually I have a little bit here.
People love that beer. I didn't get on the air, but she did.
I really did. That was my jam.
It's not jam, Bevo. It's beer.
Oh.
You got to figure it out. That's why I won't spread on your toast.
It'll soak in.
That's true. Yeah, that'll be cool. We should hit him up, Bev. Whenever we find out what's happening with BNA 12.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely want to go there.
Yeah, determine when we get into town. Because if there's a BNA 12, it'll probably be on Wednesday, which means we got to be in town Tuesday.
I don't think so. I think things are changing this year. I think
really?
I think it's Thursday.
It was Thursday, but I think it's going back to Wednesday because they weren't.
Don't quote me on that, but I'm from what I
to be decided. TBD.
TBD, bro.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Isn't it determined?
Just if you think
Not
you know,
anymore,
you don't
dude.
know.
Okay.
Is what we need to get on to listen.
Right.
But in order for people to make their travel, sooner the better. We need to let them know when they.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Just to be safe, show up Wednesday afternoon.
We'll hang out.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you can hang with us. I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Insight Brewing.
Go to Insight Brewing, motherfuckers.
I'll meet you there.
Yeah, well, maybe what we should do is this, just plan on, well, I don't know. If we don't have BNA 12 for whatever reason, maybe we just have a random meetup. Like, hey, we're going to be drinking at whatever the fuck.
Exactly.
And just come over and hang out.
Drinking, smoking the weed.
Either way, we'll see you guys. Don't worry about it.
We'll be there.
And Warren, you don't know that for sure, right?
Well, even if I'm there, I won't be seeing them.
Oh, gosh.
Well,
remember? I'm the patron saint of blind people.
See you later.
Blind brewers.
I get it.
Can you read Braille?
Nope. I'm illiterate.
Idiot.
An illiterate blind person. God. Can you read Braille?
Oh, hey, that hissing in my headphones just went away.
Yeah. Well, that was Bev talking.
Oh, okay.
Here she is again.
Oh, it is Bev.
Yeah. Okay. Now she's done. Now she's done talking. There, she's talking again.
I hate you guys.
Yeah. Are we ready, Warren?
Sure. Yes.
This bit is running long.
Definitely.
All right. Again, thank you, Ilan. I appreciate it. We're definitely going to hit you up. Thank you to all our sponsors for hanging out with us and supporting radio like this. Thanks to our listeners, everyone in the chat room for hanging out and having fun. And Warren.
Yes.
Thank you for the words you're about to say.
You're welcome. Thank you to our show sponsor, More Beer. You can get absolutely everything you need to make great beer at home by going to morebeer.com. We talked to Ilan from Insight Brewing, who shared some stories of an imaginary brewmaster and some fantastic beer. Merge your love of Disneyland with your lack of engaging podcasts and go over to earsuppodcast.com as JP, Terrence, Bevo, and Taryn talk about all things Disney. Go check out Moscow's Hop Cartoons over at hoplifestore.com. And get on Twitter for some good beer insight and homebrew info. Follow Nate Smith at Nathan Homebrew, Mike McDowell at Tasty McD, JP at Major Jip, and Warren is stuck over at Another Beardy, and even Bevo, the great Beverly, is crushing cyberspace at Bevo 1. Today's show is produced by Bevo. Your host has been JP. And please follow the Brewing Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
I like how you and please. You almost like,
for the love of God.
Yeah, it's like you say, drink responsibly. All right, thanks everybody.